Hello. Welcome to the show, everybody. I don't know who was fucking with my board, but these levers are all off whack. All out of whack.
Don't touch my levels.
Come on, man. Were you fucking with the levels?
I mean, I moved up maybe the PC because I was trying to hear something, but I wouldn't have touched anything.
So why did you bump the main mix and my microphone?
I wouldn't have done that.
Not on purpose.
There was a
Yeah,
ghost.
not on purpose.
A ghost.
Someone's messing with it. God, we could get in trouble down here. The three of us sitting here talking about Seinfeld for an hour before
Almost
starting
forgot-
the show.
Almost forgot we're doing the show.
Yeah, I've had this policy going where I get up early, deal with the dog, and then I start my prep, and then I do my highlighting, and then I'll check headlines, and then I've got, an hour left over before the show starts, and I'll sit down and I'll just chill out, relax, and I've been going through series that I watched years ago, and Seinfeld I've been on a Seinfeld kick. So every time when E comes in or you come in, T, I'm in the middle of a Seinfeld episode, and it's just...
It's amazing how deep that is too. Like, I watched it, but not a ton. You know? So I've enjoyed kind of going back through that, catching ones. But
Yeah.
it's amazing, like how I didn't feel like I watched the whole thing, but almost everyone I watched,
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this
Yeah, I
and they
remember this
almost everyone seems to have some sort of a classic, joke
There's
or a
not
line
very
or
many
something.
bad ones. If
Yeah.
there is,
I never
guess-
liked the parking lot one.
really see that now. That's interesting.
I think
'cause-
I skipped that one.
Wow.
Maybe I'd have to go back and watch it where they can't find the car in the parking
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
That always seemed like a dumb premise to me, but
Yeah, I get it. But if you watch it again, it still does have those. If you were to watch it, I understand it might it doesn't mean everyone's my favorite.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's a bad one. Even some people think the earlier ones maybe aren't as good. I don't
Yeah.
even agree with that personally, but.
yeah, they definitely get stronger.
Well, and the funny thing is when Larry David leaves at 7, so they have 2 seasons of Jerry just writing it. It's weird because I don't think that those episodes that's when some of the craziness really gets in to me. Like those last 2 seasons,
Really?
in my opinion, there's some some of the real wackiness. It was what I would say.
Dumb shit.
Yeah, but I like it. Dumb shit I like, but
Yeah.
obnoxious levels of how far they take gags.
Well, you can tell how neurotic Larry David is.
Yeah.
You can see it in Curb.
Oh, yeah.
You can really feel it in this. Like it's weird watching a series where it came on once a week and you either caught it at 9 when it came on or
Right.
whatever, or you missed it. It was gone.
Yeah.
And they didn't really rerun it for years. And now being able to go on Netflix and just pull up Seinfeld and being able to watch a
Start
whole
to
season
finish.
if you
Yeah,
want
yeah.
the weekend, it takes a whole different, you see how I'm guessing the final episode is going to be a lot better this time around.
yeah.
Seeing in fast pace, how fucked up these people are, these individuals, how absolutely egomaniacs they
Right,
are,
right.
who don't give a shit about anybody.
Right.
They literally don't give a shit about anybody but themselves.
Right.
And so the Good Samaritan law that they break, seeing that coming up, it's like, I bet it's way better than because I watched it once, that final episode, one time.
People that complain, so I literally never watched a Seinfeld episode until the last episode in 97 or 8, whenever it aired exactly. I just didn't watch it live at all. I watched it all post thing except that. But I think that anyone complained about that complains about that last episode, I don't get it. Because these, like you've described, these psychopaths finally have this thing that they get caught. And they just wheel in. And I think you're right. I think when you watch it this time, they wheel in character after character witness of just these deplorable human beings. And so then they finally say, you know what? No, you're going away for a little bit for this. You are terrible people, and you're going away. And
Well, it's funny. I watched Friends, and Friends held up better than I thought it would.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of shit you wouldn't do today.
Yeah, yeah.
A lot of gay jokes, a lot of lesbian stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of fat jokes that wouldn't work. Seinfeld doesn't really have that stuff. There's not. I'm watching it looking for those ooh, this was in '91.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a very highly educated show. The characters are very smart.
Yeah.
Their references are very well
It was
educated.
highbrow. They didn't do any of the low hanging fruit
No,
stuff for the most part.
They really didn't. They didn't go for the cheap dick joke, the gag, the
it wasn't that wasn't the
gay
Larry
reference.
David, and I suppose really Jerry as well, because in those first 7, they wrote almost what I believe is almost every line to those first 7 seasons. They had other people, but really they sat in the room, desks facing each other, just writing. Is from what I know.
Yeah.
So the point is, I think that that's their style and their humor, and it was just so fucking strong, obviously.
Yeah, but you're right, Troy. They didn't take the low-hanging fruit, and that's really what it is.
But it wasn't a regular sitcom at all.
No,
Really,
I know,
that's
but
the thing,
still,
yeah.
even in those, there's still gags. I mean, Kramer is such a perfect character, but
There'll be situations when you can see that easy joke, that
Yeah.
lazy joke coming, and they go around.
they
it.
miss
Yeah,
it
yeah.
on
and they
purpose.
don't. Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
And
it's-
That's true.
That's a great sign of a sign of a great show.
yeah,
and
it's
great
very-
writing. Yeah.
It's really good. I'm enjoying it a lot though. But this pandemic, it kind of did that to me, where it was like, well, I guess I got nothing to do the next 8
Totally.
hours. Just sit down and watch fucking all the Mission Impossible movies, or
Right.
Yeah.
watch all 3 Die Hards, or however many Die Hards. I found myself doing a lot of that, like just blowing through seasons of things. And
Seinfeld really didn't get rerun very much. I mean, even
Well, it was
now,
on TBS for a while.
Was it?
Yeah, it was on
I
TBS in
feel
blocks for a
like
while. So you might have
Friends and ones shows like that are just everywhere.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
And
I'm not gonna argue exactly what constitutes a lot, but I think you might have just missed it because it was on
Maybe.
TBS for a while,
Was
and
it?
like in like
Okay.
kind of blocks. But
Yeah.
because that's how I would pretty much watch it until finally when shows came on DVD. Back in
Oh,
that
yeah.
was a huge deal when
Yeah.
Seinfeld kind of came on DVD.
Isn't that
finally.
wild? They didn't think that would take off. They're
I
like,
know.
who's going to want to watch episodes that already aired? It's like
Right.
this explosion. It's like everybody wants to watch reruns of shit.
Do you know-
I'm surprised the NFL hasn't done that.
Right.
And started releasing games.
Well, now the
you'll
problem is
see-
everything's on YouTube. You can. I'm not kidding. Like I can go watch like old Piston games from the '80s on YouTube.
Yeah, but not the full broadcast. Can
Yes,
you?
I was recently going through a kick, and I watched like when the Pistons beat the Celtics to go to the first title game at
Yeah.
the Silverdome. I watched that because I wanted to see what it was really like, not just
Yeah.
highlights, like how was the crowd and stuff.
Yeah.
So not every game, I guess, but a lot of them are out there.
I wouldn't be surprised if they, all these streaming services and everybody's starting to get proprietary of their own
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
To have the NBA, the NFL, things
That's
like
true.
that, sort of reel it all back in and take
Son of a
all their
bitch. You're right. That's
property
true.
back.
Take ownership because the
and-
quality's
and
not
put
as
their
good
own-
either.
Put their own catalog out.
Yeah. And if you wanted to watch like your team's season, I know as Lions
Yeah,
fans,
yeah.
we don't have
What
this
season?
season. But
I'd go back and watch the 0-16 season.
yeah,
again.
that would be interesting.
for me, the
actually.
81 49ers season, their first Super Bowl, like, dude, I'd start at the beginning of the season and just watch the
No,
whole goddamn
yeah,
thing.
there's
you know?
something I've done it a few times, not just at Piston, but I have gone back a few times and maybe not watched a whole game, but I've
Yeah.
watched like a quarter of, and it's way. Oh, actually, last year during the pandemic when they played, they had no sports, and FSD was playing the Pistons 05 or 04 finals games against the Lakers. Dude, I had realized that I watched them live in 04.
Yeah, I'd never seen
never
it
watched them
again.
again. And when I watched them last year, for one, I was like getting excited.
Yeah, it was
watching.
like watching them for the first time.
And two, I was like, holy fuck, we fucking destroyed them.
That was the
Yeah.
five.
It was
That was the five-game
sweep.
Five-game
Somebody
sweep,
hit a
yeah.
3 in game 2 to
Kobe.
bombed
Yeah,
a
it's
half
Kobe.
quarter or something.
just about it was overtime.
Yeah.
But yeah, I watched those games again,
Five-game
dude.
sweep.
Right.
That's awesome.
And I was like, holy fuck, dude, we destroyed these. I just didn't
Oh,
even
yeah.
remember it because when it was live, you're still
Ben
nervous.
Wallace
and,
on Shaq. that
Yes.
whole fucking thing where nobody on planet Earth gave Ben Wallace a chance to defend
Right.
against Shaq, and
Right.
he just dominated.
God,
him. Awesome.
I'll be honest. I had, because of how low our sports has been, when I watched those last year and they put them on, like I said, FSD, I actually had as much fun watching again because I was like, this
Yeah.
team was fun. The crowd was
was.
going crazy.
Yeah.
That might have been my favorite team. I mean, I'm a Bad Boys guy from
Right.
the original,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
that was fun.
Yeah.
Chauncey, Rip,
Yeah.
Tayshaun,
Oh.
Ben.
I was
Steve.
talking about like
This is a great
those days at
run
the
squad.
Yeah.
those days at the Palace, like, and again, I love the Bad Boys too, but I wasn't old enough to really appreciate it.
Yeah.
But those days at the Palace, man, would be packed, and Chauncey would, he'd get some fast break, and Chauncey would just stop, pop up a 3, and he'd hit that thing, and
Yeah.
fuck, man, that place
Yeah.
would go ape shit.
Yeah. Remember when he used to come in studio with us?
I never got to see him. So
Oh,
it must
you
have been
weren't there
before,
for
that
that?
was before my time.
Yeah, he used to
unfortunately.
come in like every week or once a month or something.
What's that one that he'd always say? Like, you know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying?
Know what I'm saying?
I love him, but you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? If you look back to his
Yeah.
interviews, it'd be 10 times.
He was such a nice guy.
Oh, he seemed like it.
Yeah, yeah.
it seemed like.
he's
like
doing
it.
well too now, I think.
I bought
He's
when
coaching
when
somewhere.
he left, when they traded him, I purposely bought tickets for his, Denver return because that was so cool seeing him
Yeah.
come back.
Yeah.
And real quick to say something about those DVDs. Before DVDs came out, we were like, "Who would buy these DVDs?" Dude, I was such a Simpsons nerd. I don't know if I've ever told you this, but I would record Simpsons episodes on VHS, and I'm not talking like, oh, here and there. I'm talking I had 6, extended version. Remember, you could extend version those like 6 hours on a VHS if you wanted to. I had like 6-hour Simpsons VHSs.
Yeah.
Without, I'd pause commercials and shit, and because it didn't have.
See, that's the mistake right there. That's the mistake right there, because when I watch because I've going to the 81 Niners. I've watched that championship game.
Oh, the commercials, you like seeing them?
Commercials from 81 are fucking hilarious.
Oh my God.
They're awesome. If you look back at those Simpsons in 30 years, you'd be like, oh my God.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, the Gillette shaving cream ads.
It really
where a
dates
car
that stuff. Yeah.
Oh yeah, a fucking Volkswagen for $3,000. You're like, what the?
Automatic windows.
Yeah, exactly.
No, you're right. But at the time, as a kid, like because we would go on those trips in the summer, and we never flew anywhere, Florida and shit like that. So what we would do is like, ride around in that fucking van, and we had a portable TV with a VCR, and I'd pop in Simpsons VHSs and
make everyone. In the
I remember
family watch it.
the first year the Simpsons finally came on DVD. I'm like, fuck these, and I'm finally fuck
Moving up.
Well, E, it's your last show here. You've got to be getting really excited, dude.
Yeah, it's certainly crazy. I don't know what to think about. I don't even know what to think about.
Are you watching updates on Hawaii? I'm just all I'm worried about is getting you off the ground.
I know.
Honestly, Hawaii's going to be.
I'm not. I'm just going to drive out there, and what happens, I guess.
What do you mean drive out there?
Well, drive out to L.A.
Oh, is that what you're doing? You're driving
Yes,
to
because
LA
I'm driving to L.A.
and then flying from there.
and then flying from there.
And working his way back.
You know what I realized?
And then where? Alaska?
Well, then it's going on the southern states, and then up through, like, I'm kind of doing the southern states on the lower end, then the middle little states, and up to, I'll be in Alaska, but that'll be like June-ish. Like, that'll be like, so I'm kind of doing this. Then I know people can't see me.
Zigzagging the whole thing?
Yeah,
like that?
zigzagging a few times.
Oh,
there.
wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Coast to coast to coast to coast.
Yeah.
So what are you going to just park your van or something in LA and leave it?
Yeah, I gotta for that one. It kind of sucks, but I paid kind of high end for a nicer parking garage because I don't want to. Some days I like to
come
be
back from
right. Like I like to be a cheap
dude. There's so many things that could fuck this whole trip up. You know that, right?
Well, I like to be a cheap dude. Like, and my normal instinct would be find the $15 a day.
Why didn't
parking.
you ask Raj? He probably would have let you take his second space.
I figure people in LA don't really. I mean, I could have even Newburgh, even same thing, but I don't think they have spaces. I just figure people don't have.
You could have asked.
Well, I already
Raj
paid for it
did,
now, I guess,
although
but-
Raj was moving out of that apartment. Newburgh's is gated, so I don't know. I don't know
if
that
it was,
he's got two spaces.
If it was any place else, even if it was like San Diego or something, but San Francisco and LA would be places where I don't think people have parking probably. So I kind of,
My mom told me last night when you're in San Francisco that she wants to grab lunch with you.
Yeah, that will be like in Mayish. Yeah,
and my dad goes, he can't spend the night though. I know what he'll do in the other bedroom.
Oh, come on now! I
swear to God. Swear to God.
That-
my
like,
dad's
that's
Way to
like,
go,
no,
Bob. Bob
we're
knows.
not letting Isa stay in the house.
I can hold
We
off
know what he'll do.
one night of
Oh, and if you
self-pleasure.
don't, you'll lie about it. And he knows that.
Well, no.
No, you did this to yourself.
That's true. That's
You
true.
did this to yourself by lying
Yeah.
for months about it took you getting wasted.
I know.
Before you admitted jacking off in my bathroom.
I know.
So
And
there's no way Bob's going to
I should get credit. I went to the bathroom at least. Like,
Yeah, I
it's
know.
better than the couch.
slightly, but still.
You're never going to that bath. That's a guest bathroom anyway. What
Yeah,
do you
I
care?
use that when you're
yeah, it's
watching a game.
TV
and,
bathroom.
Yeah, it's TV bathroom. I can still kind of hear the game and shit.
Yeah. I don't know. So I paid for that one. I paid a little higher end for a place right by the airport because I'm just like, with all this shit going on these days, because my normal instinct would be get one 5 miles away and have it be cheap and whatever. I don't care. I don't care about distance. But so yeah, park the car and I don't know.
So are you just doing straight drive to LA?
Yeah, that
You're
one's
not
a straight
stopping?
drive. Yeah, we're leaving Monday after Christmas.
Who's
and
going with you?
My buddies that I know from comedy. They're Tyler and Scott.
Are they the guys you're doing the
Yeah,
other
they're the guys I do
podcast
the
with?
other podcast with.
They're
and-
coming to Michigan and then driving
Well,
with you? Or you-
they originally are from Michigan. They were living in Denver for a while, and they moved back for the last month, and they've just been with their parents, and then they're going to come with me.
Okay.
So, and yeah, I mean, the first half, I will say this, like, in the end, I if it just been me, these guys are kind of costing me a little bit of money because I just was going to do this trip whether they win or not.
Yeah.
They weren't planned originally, so I could have slept in my van anywhere I went. Like,
Yeah.
no matter what the weather is, it doesn't matter if it's even 20 degrees, you can sleep in your van at night.
Get a
But
room
with
every
them
other
coming,
night,
I'm kind of
take a
feel
shower.
bad about that. I didn't want to make them like, so you get to Arizona. I know it's Arizona, but fucking even in January, it gets down to fucking 30.
Yeah, you can still
Not really.
sleep in your
Not
van.
really.
No, Arizona's fine.
Oh well,
Get a little chilly
I've
in
booked
there.
I've booked a lot of hotel rooms on that premise, so good to know. No, but they were gonna tent it though, and I felt bad. I'm like, fuck, it's gonna get down
Yeah.
to 40 degrees. So we're gonna do a lot of hotels in the first end, but then the second hand, once you get into
Spring and
summer and
a
everything,
lot of camping, a lot of
Yeah.
camping.
Oof.
So.
Count me out.
Well, I get to sleep in my
Holy
van. I get to
shit.
sleep in my van, which is basically a bed on wheels. So
Yeah.
Anyway, it should be crazy. We'll see what happens. But
Well,
hey,
that's cool.
I would like to not to be able to shout a terrible plug on your podcast here, but I would appreciate it. I'm doing a show, as some people might know, with Amy Zempel as
Yeah.
my little virtual co-host.
Amy's too smart for you, dude.
I-
This is going to be a problem.
She's already she's already called out a few of my I have this.
Yeah. She's a very smart girl.
Yeah, she's already called me out on a few things that I have this one thought process that I'm so paranoid about getting robbed, and so I've told my friends, I'm like, here's the deal when it comes to chicks. Like, I know I can't really get laid. I'm not one of those guys that necessarily get laid all the time, but I'm like, dude, when we have girls, if you want to try to hook up with a girl, you fuck up with another girl every night. I don't care. You're going to their place. None of us are coming back to our hotel room.
Oh, that
they
rule
don't
will be broken.
Yeah,
Oh,
and that's
if-
what Amy said.
if
Right,
push comes to shove. Yeah.
instantly, Amy's like, yeah, right. You'll be
Yeah.
the first person to be like, I can get laid. Get out of the bed. Get out of the hotel room. So
100%.
but anyway, for anyone that wants to follow along, I'll do a few ones. But one with her might be it's just me and her, and it's called Big E Comedy Venture. It's on Spotify.
going on a venture.
Right? You guys created all this shit. I mean, it's
know.
all your guys' doings. But Big E Comedy Venture, it's on Spotify, iTunes, all that shit. We do it once a week. So I'd really appreciate it if you could check it out and you'll know what I'm doing.
You're going to get bored. You should do it more.
Well, I'm doing one with her. I'm doing the one with them on a weekly thing that's a non-trip related. And then we're doing a weekly thing where we talk about our experiences
okay.
on the road. So there'll be 3 podcasts a week, technically.
Are you going to video your open mics?
Yeah, we'll
And
video
have
those.
all those too?
Yeah, we'll video those. I mean, there'll be
Is
a
it going
lot.
to be the same set in 50 states?
God, no,
Okay.
fuck no. But we'll do. There'll be not to get too much on it, but obviously there'll be a lot of other shit. If you go to our 2 hippies, number 2, number 1, 2 hippies, 1 drunk, YouTube, Facebook, we'll do all that shit. So you can see what we're doing along the way. So
Well,
anyway,
we'll check in with you too, E, from time to time, especially if something happens.
Right. I mean, I've done, I would say for me, I've done all I can. I've saved up a lot of money. I've done a lot of plans. I mean, trust me, I understand it's me.
Yeah.
I understand it's.
Oh, there's going to be E, I've spent a weekend with you, and shit hits the fan.
I know,
There's
these guys-
No way.
He's going to get to LA and forget his wallet.
Yeah.
And these dudes, I mean, they're nice guys, but they've been friends longer with each other than me, and I'm me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I wake up at 6 in the morning, and I don't do things at normal timing frames, and I have my own views on how things should go, probably.
Yeah.
And I could certainly at some point be like, you know what? I'm only asking you guys to get gas or food. I'm paying for everything else, so fuck off. It's my trip. You know what I mean? So that could happen.
Is that the
So
deal?
That's not the deal. It is their deal. I knew they couldn't save up enough money, and I wanted somebody to go with me. So I said,
Are
guys,
you planning to go on the whole trip for a year?
yes.
Yeah, are you all bums? How the fuck can you guys all just take a year off?
Yeah.
They were living in Colorado. They had jobs, and they. Long story short, they just
Had
wanted to move back.
jobs.
Well, no. They were out there working, and they just through various things that went wrong. They were going to move back anyway. And they're kind of like me. They're not married with kids. The one guy is actually kind of an artist. He just has his own painting job where he just painting, and then he also does art, and he sells art and stuff. So, when you don't have a wife or kids, right? There's a lot more you can
God bless.
you can do. So that's what I would say. Like they're not.
Yeah.
They're better. I would say I'm actually the more functional adult out of the 3.
Holy
so
Holy shit! How are you?
not emotionally. If they were ever to listen to this, not emotionally. They are much more emotionally grounded than me. They know how to solve conflicts and talk to people and make people feel like they care about them.
Yeah.
They're much better human beings than me.
Okay.
But
All
I'm a
right.
more functioning adult in the sense that I think I'm good at.
You don't think they're taking advantage of you, do you, E? That you saved a shitload of money and now they're getting to tour the fucking entire U.S.
I know.
Coattails?
for a year.
I know.
Gliding on your hard work.
Here's my thought process.
I don't know these guys. I'm not bagging on them. Not accusing anyone of
Definitely
anything.
a possibility.
But this screams advantage taking.
We've actually talked about this concept for a few years. I jokingly, 5 years ago, hey, if something happens, we could maybe do this and stuff. And to that extent, yeah, they certainly could be taking advantage of me. But I know you don't want me to give the corny answer. You'd rather have me give the fucking bullshit answer.
I want you to give the real answer.
The real answer on my end is I was going to do this on my own. No matter what, I was going to do it anyway.
Yeah, for the cost.
But I think as I'm getting ready to go though, and not having somebody else, if I didn't have them for one, I wouldn't have other people to be talking about and getting excited. And then you start thinking, dude, I've got some of these open. Like I've already worked on where I'm going to be like in Louisiana, dude. So let's say I'm down in fucking Louisiana doing a little open mic talking about, I'm driving around the country and yep, I'm, nobody's with me. And then I walk out to my van at 10 p.m. at night,
you can't worry about that shit.
No, but I'm just saying, in the end, I'm trying to make this a social media project and do some stuff. So I honestly don't mind paying maybe few $1,000s to have some people with me that can help.
Few grand? It's going to be more than a few grand to lug 2 dudes across the country.
Well,
I mean, if they're paying for their own
they're
food,
paying for their own
he's already
food,
getting
and you
the
got
rooms.
and
he's
I
already
would have
paying
been
for all the
But
gas.
they're not going to Hawaii?
No, they are. But the only thing that the only thing they're paying the only
So
thing
who paid for their flights to Hawaii?
You're already at a couple grand.
they weren't able to do it without me.
Well, how about we'll catch you when I get back to LA, boys. I'm gonna start this.
Yeah,
one
I'm going to
solo.
start this one solo, do a couple weeks on my own in Hawaii,
Yeah.
and then I'll see you in
guys
LA.
you guys are in for
You
the
know what?
Continental.
What?
You've already bought 3 plane tickets.
3
down.
plane tickets. Yeah.
That's cheap flight, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
You didn't think I wasn't going to push back on you, did you?
Come on.
No, I thought you'd let it go. Here's
me better than that.
Here's the answer, though. The answer is, it is a corny answer. I know you don't like sometimes when I get too emotional about it, but this podcast, doing the show with you, it's been my dream job. I've gotten it, done 7 years now. I've lived out my dream. And these guys, I've liked them for so long. People like Adam Sandler and some of the, Judd Apatow, when they get these little gangs with them and they kind of bring them along. These guys are guys, we got along for so long right away. In the comedy world, when I sometimes tell you about other comics, I'm like, oh, this fucking guy. We've never been like that. We've always had a really good approach, and I've always wanted to do something with them. And you know what? It is what it is. I don't mind doing it. They're going to come with me and help each other out. And yeah, in a perfect world, of course, they'd have some more money.
Did you pay for flights to Alaska?
I was gonna say,
No,
flying-
that will be determined based on. I will tell them this. That will be determined.
they're on probation for the
Well,
first half.
it will
We'll see how this
determine
goes.
based on how much money we're spending and how much money. Like maybe if we somehow start raising some money, I guess along the way. But that will have to. I'm not going to guarantee I'll pay to fly them to Alaska also, unless some things have worked out in our favor, I guess.
Yeah.
How long is the drive from like Seattle or Portland?
It's
or
a
whatever
long.
it's
I'm not
supposed
doing that drive.
No.
It's a long drive.
To what?
From
So,
Seattle
let's
to Anchorage. I'm not going to do it. Plus, I fucking hate driving in the mountains. That's going to be an issue already.
Yeah.
So I don't want to add more to it.
Yeah, that's a bitch. I have a story leading us off today
You
about.
son of a bitch! Like, is it on purpose?
No.
Oh, you because
No,
that's
about
Set you
driving,
up, man.
driving through the mountains. No,
I'm
it's
scared as fuck to drive.
Why?
Because I went through last year in Montana and I hated it. Hated it.
Oh, well, it depends when you're going.
Right.
But
Oh, I was in the summer last year and I still hated it.
why? I mean, that's when driving's fun, man.
Terrifying,
Maybe
dude.
not in a bus. Yeah, those
Last year when I
turns through the mountains are brutal.
and for whatever, I don't know where the higher ones are. I don't know where I was, but I was in, Montana area. And all I'll say is by the end, I remember when I finally got to like coming home and I was like, I don't remember in Wyoming or Nebraska. Not Wyoming. I don't know what South Dakota maybe it would have been or whatever. By the end, dude, I was like crying. I had times where I was driving up and I was like, just stop, please. I just want to be on flat ground again. I just want to be done. I just want to be done.
Yeah.
Because you go up and up, and it's like, then you look out and you can see 5 miles, and I'm just like going down, and there'd be 80-year-old men passing me in Winnebagos, and I'd be like, oh, just get to the ground.
Yeah, you're not going to do well in Alaska.
Are you going to do all the driving? You going to let them drive?
They
You
can
gonna
drive a
share?
little. The only thing is when I was with like my brother in Montana last year, I'm a weirdo in that like
Yep.
if I'm not a control freak, in a lot of ways I'm not, but if I'm anxious and I'm driving with someone like that, like I'd have to go in the back and just put my head down. Because if I can see what's going on, I'm like, shouldn't you be braking? Shouldn't you be braking? Oh,
Yeah, someone else in control is a whole different ride.
Yeah, you can't.
Really is.
I
When you're
can't relax.
driving,
I can't
in
go
my
sleep.
mind, I'm just like,
Yeah.
oh my God, that's too fast. That's too fast. That's too fast.
Yeah.
Anyway, so thank you. I appreciate it, obviously. And for the listeners, by the way, I won't be here for a while. I would love to come back when I'm back, obviously.
Yeah.
But thank you so much to everyone that's listened and support. It's the listeners of the show.
I think they'll surprise you, dude. It's hard because I have no idea if 3 people are listening to us each show or 3,000. I have no fucking clue. None.
I just wanna-
So I don't know what the level of support has been, but in the past, I mean, dude, you could raise $100,000.
Well, what I'm
doing
getting
this.
at more is honestly that stuff. Not to sound too artsy, that stuff's over. I don't even care. Just going on just that I'm able to do it. I planned it. I put the work in. the trip is a success. I'm not even talking about them giving me money. I'm talking about like the reason I'm able to even live, like do something like this.
Yeah.
Is because you starting this podcast and these listeners who supported me and got to like
I
give
think
me
they'll
that
still
confidence in the
support
funding
you.
and stuff.
I
yeah.
see support. Yeah. And I think when you're,
Don't forget COVID.
And COVID was massive in the end.
Thanks, COVID.
Really.
COVID was great. But if
I can't stress enough how good COVID was.
Oh yeah, for me either. For me, there's no way I could have been gone.
3
a
in
year
this
and a
room.
half.
I mean,
COVID was.
I'm not going to say I released COVID, but
Yeah, I would have. If I worked, if I ever get a job in that Wuhan lab, I'd release it
Yeah.
again. This has been fantastic.
fantastic.
Yeah, no complaints.
I literally can't even say a negative thing about COVID. Not one.
No, I would have been back. I would have been back here 9 months earlier.
Yeah.
Like, it enabled me to really fucking get to know my
Milk that
family
shit out,
and
yeah.
milk
Yeah,
that
there you
shit
go.
and work on my health.
You know what'd be
and
good
realize when I got over a hump, like I was really fucked up bad.
Yeah.
Like I had a lot of problems. I wouldn't have been able to figure that out in 2 months.
Right.
It
No.
would have been like a short 2
Well-
months, 3 months, and then I would have felt the pressure to come back.
And that's the
that
thing.
relieved
Yeah.
the pressure. And then I got over a 6-month hump where it was like, okay, this is starting to become real. Like meeting these kids and being with my family and working on my health and going to doctor's appointments and doing all that stuff wouldn't have been the same without COVID.
No.
So I mean, when I say my prayers at night, I thank the Lord for COVID
Right.
all the time because it's really been
You are
that
right, though. The
special.
social
It's been that
pressure-
special of a virus. It really has.
The social pressure on you would have been if the world
Immense.
had been chugging along
Yeah.
at a normal
Yeah.
pace. You're right. Even the 2 months, even if you had stayed 2 months, dude, the reality was you might have done a week or two
Yeah.
without checking your phone, and then you would have been
Yeah.
away.
Yeah.
But you would have been.
It's almost safe to say COVID saved my life in a lot of respects.
Yes.
And you know what? If it took
I don't know how
800,000
long
Americans,
it's going to save my life for,
Right.
but in the interim, it's COVID saved my life.
And I don't know personally. I don't know any of those 800,000 people, Mike, and I know you. So I mean, if they had
yeah.
to die to keep you rocking and rolling, I mean,
How many
There you
people
go.
do you guys know that have personally died? from COVID?
I know some. I actually do know friends
don't-
of friends. I don't know anybody on a personal level.
Yeah, me either.
I had one just recently. It's the first one I know of.
Yeah.
That died.
Was he in a vicious car accident, but also happened to have COVID at the
No,
same
no,
time?
it was straight. It was all, as far as I know,
Straight
it was all
COVID.
COVID. Yeah, got sick, went in, and
Yeah, I guess
I don't-
A month.
I know friends. I do know some friends of friends, and with social media, it's hard because then I do have people on Facebook where someone says it's not real, then a friend says I know. So it's weird because I don't know that person, but I know the person that told me. I guess you know what I mean. So
Yeah, I know a handful of people that have gotten it,
Mm-hmm.
but that's really now I was really checked out for a lot of it. But dude, I really don't know that many people that have died
Well,
from it.
here's
I mean,
the-
I heard
yeah.
anecdotal stories. Beth, is a nurse, so she was
Right.
working on a COVID floor. So I'd hear things there. I obviously didn't know them.
Well,
I don't have any family members that
yeah.
got COVID even.
If you think,
or
here's the deal.
died from it.
I don't know
I'm
what would
sure
have
there's
happened.
people I'm missing, by the
Right.
way. I'm
I don't
sure
know what
there's
would
a
have
couple,
happened if
but-
we didn't do anything, if we didn't start washing our. I don't know what would have happened, right? So I don't know how that number would have changed if we did. Let's say we did nothing different. What that number would have
It
been.
wouldn't have changed shit.
I wouldn't go
my
that
guess.
far, but it probably wouldn't have. But the point is, when you really then think about it, I hate to say it, and even though I was worried about it for a long time myself, I remember saying back then, even if you don't even hit a million, what do we have? 330
30
million?
plus
Million?
million.
So you got to get to 3.5 million people before you're talking about 1%.
Yeah.
And so what we're at, 850,000?
800,000,
It's just weird
Yeah.
because I'm still in a belief. I actually still don't want to get it. Like I have heard friends now that have gotten it that it's been a little rough on them, and
Yeah.
they're not dying, but it doesn't sound fun.
apparently
So
every
it's-
one of them that died worked in fast food restaurants.
Really?
Yeah, that's true. Ain't that the truth?
Wait, what are you talking about?
He's just joking to the fucking
'Cause
best.
apparently everyone that died worked in the fucking restaurants.
Which actually would make
Oh,
sense
yeah,
in a
yeah,
way,
yeah.
though. But no, I'm just
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird the excuses that are coming out for why people aren't working, why grocery shelves
I'll
aren't
tell you this,
stocked.
some of those-
watching these people do backflips to try to explain it.
Yeah,
For political gain. It's just stop it.
I do think some of it. There's a mix, obviously. Some of it was back in the day when they were just giving people money not to show up. Right? There's that.
Hey, Raj talked
and-
about it,
and then-
all of a sudden they dropped 20 grand in his bank account.
Right.
Holy shit!
So there's
I
that.
have to work for 2 years.
There's some people that got that money for a while and then probably were like, well, why do I have to go right back? I've just been saving up money anyway.
Yeah.
And
Because you couldn't go anywhere.
Right,
It's not
right.
like you could go blow it at the movie theater,
Right.
blow it at a
I mean,
ball
hell, even
game,
Vegas
blow it at
was
a
shut down,
concert.
dude. I mean,
Vegas was shut down. All you could do is just sit around, watch some TV.
So some of those people are probably doing that. And then honestly, no offense to some of the some people found jobs where they didn't have to deal with that fucking manager, you know, and they
Yeah.
could still make money. And why would you go back?
Yeah.
Why would you go back to McDonald's and work 8, even if they're paying the money? But you're like, well, I could kind of make that money on my own terms and just kind of.
Yeah, plenty of opportunities out there.
You know who?
So it's a mix, I think, of that is my point.
You
Like,
know who
yeah, I know.
caught COVID over the weekend? One of your favorites, Troy. One of my favorites too. Stephen A. Smith.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah,
Yes.
on ESPN. Yep.
I saw that.
So he addressed this on his show, First Take, on Tuesday.
I can't wait till you read this because I already know what he said.
Yeah. I've tested positive for COVID-19. I have the coronavirus. I learned this over the weekend. I got tested 3 times last week prior to the weekend. I guess because if you're going on planes, going from New York to LA all the time. I tested negative before I departed for LA. I tested negative when I arrived in LA. I tested negative when I got back from LA. Well, he lives in LA, so I don't know what. He tested before he left for LA, so he could be in studio in one of the ESPN studios. And then he gets to LA and he tests negative, and then he gets back from LA. So who knows where he's going. He did not appear on Monday's show due to this, and he said he'll be out for the remainder of the week. Thank God I was vaccinated. Thank God I got the Pfizer vaccine. 2 shots a few months ago. Thank God. Because if it had not been for that, I'd probably be much worse than I am right now. Maybe.
Wait, just a few months ago?
Yeah.
He got it?
Yeah.
Yeah, what was he? What was the wait? If
Yeah,
he was hammering all these other
Say,
people,
a couple months ago,
what was
you
the wait?
probably should have been getting your booster there, Stephen A.
Yeah, well, he's got he revealed
That's
he's
not what
got
he meant, but
mild symptoms. He's dealt with a 12-hour
Yeah.
fever. He also informed viewers he's not yet received the booster, but he plans on doing so soon.
why
Yeah.
would you?
Yeah, he's been railing at anybody who's not.
Yeah,
Especially Mike after
biggest mouthpieces out there.
Yeah, biggest loudmouths demanding everybody get fully vaccinated.
after that article I saw in the USA Today last week. It said if you get a breakthrough case, it's actually even better because now you got super immunity. So
and it's
like,
not a
what-
breakthrough case; it's just a case.
Right, I understand that, but that's
Yeah.
what they're afraid. But my point
I
is,
know
like,
that's the way they're framing it, but it's a bullshit narrative because it's not protecting you from not getting the virus. So it's not a breakthrough.
Right.
Everyone's going to get
But
it.
the funny thing was, so on one, you have a thing saying not only, oh, it's actually good if you get COVID after getting the shots because now you have an even more immune. But then,
Yeah.
like, if that's
More
true,
robust.
why would I do the booster then? Because now you got. So why would you get the booster?
Well, if you get the booster and then the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th boosters each month for eternity,
Yep.
and you get COVID a couple times in there,
Yeah.
you've got robust immunity.
Then you can go to the bar.
Yeah, you
about
could
what it's
go
gonna
out
take.
with your kid or something. I mean that. You might just bring this down to sniffles for an hour.
Yeah.
And I mean, isn't that really what we're all looking for?
I'm thinking about mid-January. This is really going to get out of hand. They're going to shut the country back down.
I'm worried about. I actually am
At
worried
least
about
the
that.
2
too.
halves of the country. Yeah.
And
you
the
might wanna-
only
You're going to have to
you
just
might wanna
zigzag
get-
through the middle for a while.
Just keep doing circles. Avoid California and New York for a while.
Honestly-
Oklahoma City again.
For the 9th week in a row.
I-
Welcome, Eric Fading, Oklahoma City.
Right. By the way,
You could just do Texas and Florida. Texas and Florida over and over.
Yeah, right. I just want to do. I normally would never do this to you. I'm so sorry to do this to you, but there is an asshole that listens to us that hates me. I'm sorry. I'm going to call him an asshole.
Yeah.
And I would
You've
never.
been very talkative this morning. It's your or this afternoon. It's your last show, so we're going to
I'm sorry. I would never do this. But dude, who gives a fuck what I'm doing with my life, dude? This
Who's
motherfucker-
bitching? Is this
dude's-
Jay? Is
No,
this Jay?
it's this. There's 2 people that always rail on me, and I'm not
Where
gonna
are
say
they
their
railing
names.
on you?
On YouTube, but dude, the one guy makes a point to go to my other podcast and just tell me comments all the time about how terrible our audio is or the content's shit. Point is, he's sitting there. Doesn't know how did he save up this money? How did it, he doesn't, I'm sure he doesn't plan well enough. I'm sure he doesn't have money. This guy, You couldn't pay me $1 million to
Are
go.
you arguing with a YouTube commenter?
Yeah, I am.
Really?
I am. So you know what? I'm sorry. This is the last. I'll save it, and we'll move on. But go fuck yourself. How about that?
All right.
I did what I did.
Put the number out. Have him call into the show.
I'm gonna fucking enjoy my incredible life. I promise you it'll be fun, and I promise you I worked hard and saved up for it. Anyway, now you can move on.
I will say, in E's defense, I'd talked to E. This has been in the plans for a couple of years. His want to do this. I know what E did during the pandemic. I know what he sacrificed and how hard he worked, literally 7 days a week. We don't have to get into what he did, but male prostitution might not be off the table completely. But he worked really fucking hard and stashed every goddamn penny. And that's kind of the way he is. He had an immature period where he ran up some credit cards back in the day, and the money he made here paid those off. But he really did work his ass off. He's a different guy than he was 7 years ago.
I understand.
That's
this is
all
not,
I'll
right.
say on it. So for people that don't know what you did because you've never talked about what you did,
Right.
let them think you were sucking dicks for money. Who
I know. I
cares?
don't give a
But
fuck. And like I said, I would never normally do this, and I will not do this the rest of the show. But it's a funny thing to me. It is
who
humorous
cares?
to me, where it's like, dude, who gives a whatever? What if I,
Yeah, but they don't know you and they
I
don't know
know
what you're doing. So
I
who
know.
cares?
Anyways, that's
Just-
it.
Shake it off, E. Shake it off.
So
Taylor Swift says, right?
that's right. Following
Okay, I'm done.
following Stephen A. Smith's announcement,
Yeah.
that, he's got the vid, he's got some sniffles, a headache for a couple hours.
Did Kyrie Irvin come, or not Kyrie Irvin come out and maybe?
No, he dove right into hammering the Brooklyn Nets about Kyrie Irving.
Yep.
To the return of the team as a part-time player. I think it's a horrible move. I think it's a disgraceful move. I think the Nets ownership is incredibly disappointing, and I think that the league should intervene. I'm open to the league invoking its best interest of the game clause and mandating that everybody be vaccinated in some capacity.
I can't understand it. I can't understand it.
Look, not to sound like broken records.
No.
Any one of you want to take the floor on this? It's fine. I mean,
Say the same thing that we all agree
I
on.
can do it.
It's sad the disinformation that's going around that somehow
Follow the
it
science.
makes a difference. Clearly, Stephen A. is a bigger risk to everyone around him while he's got the virus than Kyrie is without being vaccinated.
Yeah. Here's the reality. We'll go through this one more time, really slow for stupid people. If you've been vaccinated, that is protection for you. If you get one shot, you're partially protected. If you get 2 shots, you're more protected. And then if you get that booster, for people, it's probably smart for someone like me to get the booster. I've thought about it. I probably will. That's it. You're getting protection for yourself. That's all it is. It's your little armor. It doesn't protect Nana. It doesn't protect children. It doesn't protect your friends, your coworkers, the fucking all the bookkeepers in the building. It doesn't protect them. If you want to protect them and Nana, have them get vaccinated. So Stephen A., I would just like you to explain to me, because all you do is just wail and bully people. This is bullying people. Kyrie Irving made a decision for himself as a healthy 20-something-year-old man, okay, in peak physical shape. He made a decision for himself to not get vaccinated. He can still get the virus. He can transmit the virus. You've been double vaxxed. You can clearly still get the virus, Stephen A. Hello, you just did. And you know what? You can also transmit it. The same fucking levels of transmission is going on between vaccinated and unvaxxed people.
I'll even go a step farther, because
That's it.
The vaccinated people are, when they're asymptomatic, they don't even know a lot of times if and when they have it.
Yeah.
Or it's so mild that they don't realize it's truly COVID because they think it's a flu or it's a cold or it's something else, because it's not
allergies,
this death sentence.
Yeah.
And so they're out still
Doing whatever
they're doing. So they're at a greater risk.
That's a great point,
They're a
Troy.
greater risk to everyone else around them.
Probably spreading it more.
Because if you're not you get sick,
he's right. That's a good
you
point.
see those symptoms and you immediately quarantine and you're.
So what is it then? We all know this. We know it. And
Well,
if
we
you
don't all know.
But if you go, I know it's not publicized. I know the narrative is get the vaccine or you're a horrible person. we're going to bully you to death until
Which they
you
all
get the
told
vaccine.
us would never be the situation 6 months ago. They were just like, "Hey, man,
They've
we're going
been
to
full
get
of
it."
shit
I
the
know,
whole
I know.
time.
Everything that people have
Whatever.
said is going to come up has come up every time. I hate to say
This
it.
information's out there, whether it's Biden's czar on COVID saying this is an endemic, we're not getting rid of this. This will be here for life. And by the way, every person on planet Earth is getting this virus.
At some
There's
point.
no avoiding that.
Right.
At
It's not
some
going
point,
away.
it's not going away. And we know that people that are vaxxed or unvaxxed are transmitting it at the same rates. So by that knowledge that you have right there, the only thing you can do, you can't protect your kids, you can't protect your wife, you can only do for yourself. So you can make the decision, I'm going to vax my toddler, moronic, because they're at no risk, literally no risk. But lots of people are doing it, including family members of mine. Whatever. I get their want to be safe. You can vaccinate your wife and your grandma and yourself. That's great. That's protection for you. You're good. You did your part. Hopefully, things go smoothly. But explain to me how Kyrie Irving being unvaccinated is of any threat to a single human being on Earth. I'll wait.
I wish we could have.
I'll wait.
I wish you could honestly call someone up, and I want them to explain it to us in a real way.
They're never asked.
They don't have to, I guess. But
It just, they do the tap dance and it comes around. And then even if you really push them into a corner, it comes down to the hospitals. Well, you're just going to overrun the hospitals, and
And dude, you know what's funny? I believed that for a long time. I really did. That was my thought process for a long time. But it was
not true.
I know. It's
Not
like, why don't
overrunning a hospital.
remember all these huge
Why don't I
fucking
see ambulances
military
driving-
hospitals they put up,
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
Hobo
we
and
do
all
that in
these
a
things,
heartbeat.
and they never used any of
No,
them. Never
New
had
York,
to.
access to 5,000 patients.
And they park a fucking cruise
Navy
ship.
ship,
to
yeah.
use
both
this-
coasts, New York and
Yes,
San Francisco, or
something. Yeah, in New York, and they use like 6 beds in that
Yeah.
fucking
And
thing.
the one down at Cobo never.
Yeah,
did
Trump
shit.
gave 30,000 ventilators to New Yorkers, and that SS whatever ship.
they don't talk
could
about
house
that. You know,
5,000 beds.
what Trump did or not do. I know maybe he wasn't perfect, I suppose, but in reality, think how fast he really did act. I don't
Yeah.
ever want to hear that, but those boats were there. I mean, he actually did a
sure.
lot pretty fast comparatively.
You would
By the
never
way,
know.
Mike, I was talking to some family members over the weekend, and I was referencing that we were talking about COVID in November of 19 on this show,
Yeah.
and they were really impressed. They were like, "Wow, your guys' show was." Nobody was talking. I'm like, but I do. In fact, that was when Troy was doing shows with us at that point. We were calling it the Kung Flu, and we were
Troy called it the Kung Fu.
right. Well, I don't. And we were railing on the fact.
I would have.
Right. We were railing on the fact. Remember, they brought that plane in there, and the government was paying for the plane.
Was
but they were,
this is when there weren't any documented cases yet
No,
in America.
none.
Nothing here yet.
Yeah.
and they were,
yeah.
and we were railing on them because they were charging them still.
Yep.
They were paying for the plane, but they were
Yeah.
charging them
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
$800 or
Yeah.
something, and they went to Seattle and landed.
Isn't that funny?
But we were talking about that in late November, maybe,
Yeah.
or maybe early December. But I think it was even
No,
in
it was November when I was here right before the election.
Yeah.
No.
the
no.
year
The
before.
year
that.
before, dude.
Yeah,
when,
yeah.
when we were
Pre-COVID.
doing 5.
Yeah.
But when I told them,
Yeah.
like I said, I was at the event or a family social gathering, and they were like, "Wow."
I'll tell you, nothing gets me harder. Nothing gets me more excited than doing a story and then seeing the mainstream press pick it up 4
Yeah.
days later
Wow.
Right.
and do it. It's the best. When
They
you're
should
like,
give you a rager than what I'm telling you right
Yeah,
now. 'Cause
yeah,
they were
yeah.
very impressed. They were like, "Holy shit, you guys must have been doing some good stuff." Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Definitely.
yeah, we're on it.
Cutting edge.
Right.
We're not as good as some, but we don't have a fucking staff either. You know, I mean, if you had a staff, you'd be even more on top of it. That's how.
But I've
you know, when
told
you look at
people
Ben
that.
Shapiro,
Yeah.
100 employees,
Right.
Literally, imagine if there was 100 employees here, scrounging the globe for news and updates and going through reports,
Yeah.
and then presenting you with like on the topics you want to discuss, fact checking and backing up everything you're doing. We're literally 2-3 guys in a room just
Winging it.
bullshitting on a microphone.
And the reason I think it hit so hard, if you remember, is because I had my big proclamation during the Ebola thing. I mean, back when we were still doing the show over here in this room, but not in this format.
the old desk,
where I thought there was going to be a billion. I think I proclaimed
well, if that
a billion
shit got
deaths.
loose, there would have been.
No, Ebola was no joke. If Ebola gets
Ebola was
loose,
no joke. That literally, you just like melted. Your body just melted on the bed.
I remember my sister had to fly down to. You remember there was one patient like in Dallas. He was like a nurse that had came
It was
over.
a
from-
chick nurse,
Yes.
Asian woman. Yeah, she's cute too.
And I remember my sister was flying down to Dallas for some training. And I was like, Lauren, you're going to be in the airport report of a person that had Ebola. Be careful. Be careful.
It was the Asian chick who wanted nothing to do with press. I don't think she gave any interviews. And then the patient she was dealing with died, and he was a black guy. And they tried to make it a race thing.
Oh, boy.
Like they didn't give the patient enough care like they gave her.
Ebola, dude.
Yeah.
But I think that's why we hit that one in November. So, because you must have started to get those stories, and then it was like making fun of me, like, how much do you think? Because I was like, I think I said there was going to be upwards of 1 billion deaths from Ebola back in 15 or 16
and it
or
might
whatever.
have been like 50 deaths. But dude, that spark, what you had there was a very dense and extremely dried out forest.
Yeah.
And someone threw a match into it.
Yep.
And it just happened to go out.
Yeah.
That's what you had. But that fucking could have been 1 billion
It could have
deaths.
been.
Had that thing taken off and not been locked down and squashed the way it was, you could have had a real problem. Those stories coming out of Africa were brutal.
Right, dude.
They were, I mean, human beings were just melting. I mean, it was bad.
Yeah, you got it, and it was not instant, but within very fast death. Like, it's not it definitely wasn't the flu.
Well, former Vice President Joe Biden lashed out Tuesday at certain media outlets, of course.
He's really good with his anger issues, right?
Yeah, he's great. He's great. He had one moment that I went, that's all you have to do, bro. Right there. That is an inclusive message. That will do what you promised to do, which was mend the country and bring people together. This idea of shaming, blaming, and bullying people to get a vaccine, or shaming and bullying news corporations that are reporting on this stuff that don't have your narrative, that's what he's doing. He wants them to stop it now. The purveyors of lies and misinformation. So he's obviously talking about, what is it, AON Network? Is that the right wing?
Oh, yeah.
I think AON. I've never seen it. I don't even know where it airs.
I've heard of it, but
Yeah, I've heard of it. Yeah,
Okay.
I think it's a right wing something or other, AON. And then Fox News. He's obviously talking about Fox News. Biden delivered a public address on the rise of the Omicron variant and his administration's plan to increase vaccine booster availability, address testing shortages. He began by claiming that the pandemic was still largely being driven by those who had not yet been vaccinated. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. And so what you want to do is just say that. Mm-hmm. You don't want to give anybody any single bit of information that goes, wait, what? Wait, what?
Why are we never talking about the fact that, in reality, I think they say the total at this point that is throughout the kind of whatever month period, year and a half or whatever, 2 years almost that we've been doing this. Like, I think it's like 60 million people have contracted COVID, and that's probably much higher than that because the reality
it's
is
100 million plus.
Right. And so they don't even talk about that. It's like it's just never even a consideration. Never.
nope.
Yeah.
Or the healthy living and eating, of course. But
So noting that there were still some children under the age of 5 who did not yet have access to the vaccine, Biden argued that the best thing everyone else could do is to get vaccinated and boosted so those younger children would be surrounded by vaccinated people. So Biden didn't argue this. He's demanding this. He's trying to force or pressure you into this. If he was arguing it, it would seem that he would have a debate with someone, arguing back and forth about a point. No, he's not willing to argue with anyone. He just wants to tell you what to do. And again, no offense to the office at large. What the fuck are you talking about? If vaxxed and unvaxxed people are giving and getting in the same transmission rate, what does it matter in the household if your kid's there? What does it matter? A, we know they're fine. Mm-hmm. Literally none of them are dying. Literally none of them. Yeah. What are you worried about? And what are you talking about? Again, for folks who are not vaccinated, you may think you're putting only yourself at risk, but it's your choice. Your choice is not just a choice about you. It affects other people. You are putting other people at risk, your loved ones, your friends, neighbors, strangers.
Please expand.
Yeah, please. You can say it. You keep saying it, but you're not providing any fucking... No. You're not backing that with any sort of facts.
You can scream that the sky is green all you want.
Yeah.
If you can't justify it, doesn't make any difference.
The longer the virus is around, the more likely variants form, and they will be deadlier than the ones that have come before. What? Says who?
Based on
what?
Omicron, clearly.
So
it does not tend to be, from what I know.
So the 33% of the country that's not vaccinated they're the reason this pandemic is still going on?
Right.
Really?
That's how they're
what you're
guilting
saying?
you into it. Yeah.
Okay.
We just want this to be over. And you selfish fucking people, you Trumpers they want to put out there, which
Yeah.
is so far from the case.
So far from the case.
But-
talk to Black Lives Matter. See how many of them are dying to get vaxxed.
Which, by the way, I mean, I know his,
I don't blame him.
Trump, I know his, viewers kind of boo him sometimes when he brings this up, but Trump has openly said not only did he get the vaccine, even though he got COVID, he's now openly came out and said he got the booster.
Yeah,
So when they
absolutely.
say this, like, Trump's done it,
No, it's just part of the narrative.
I
Yeah,
know.
he's a 75-year-old man. He
Right.
should. He should.
and he says that people should, just because he doesn't go out and, shove it in your face, but he does encourage people to do it.
Yeah,
he
he's
just
never
doesn't.
discouraged it
Right.
by
No.
any stretch.
No,
That's why it's
not even a little.
not even a little.
That's another false flag, argument.
Well, the irony is that when the tables were turned before the election,
Of course, yeah.
this is what the left was saying. Fuck, I'm not taking that
not
vaccine.
taking
I'm
that.
not going to do Trump's vaccine. No way. No way.
It would be a really interesting science experiment, social experiment, to go back in time and have Trump win the election and see if it was all people on the right who were demanding to get vaxxed and all people on the left
Yeah,
going, I'm not touching that
maybe.
vaccine.
I know, dude.
It
I've
could
thought of,
literally be as simple as that.
Yeah.
because I have thought about that with, not that it matters, but with some of the people that are more Trumpers on my life, like when they say things, I'm like about the vaccine, I'm like, and they love Trump, and I think, but Trump is the one who spearheaded some of this. So do you think he's part of it? Because if you still like Trump, then you should have an issue with maybe, if you think the vaccine is a massive deep state conspiracy, then you should have some negative feeling towards Trump then.
Yeah,
Because Trump
for
had
sure.
something to do with it. So I'm just, if that's always, so to Mike's kind of point there, it would be curious to see if he had won.
They were
Thank you.
acting like he's in the fucking kitchen mixing it up.
Yeah.
Right.
Here you go. This will fix it.
Just
No, he's a
political
businessman
nonsense.
who threw money. By the way, they don't,
bleach.
not only did it come out of it, the 3 vaccines, but they don't, they really don't like to talk about the fact that he threw money at, they say he didn't react fast enough. He didn't care. Dude, instantly, he almost threw billions of dollars at
Yeah.
10 companies or 15, whatever it
Yeah.
was, to be like, hey, let's just start buying it right now.
People
Fuck
don't
it.
want to hear it. They think that's.
He didn't sit there and go, let's look around. He said, no, here's 10 companies. Let's throw some money to start working. Start working. Your money will be
Fast
there.
track or
Let's
what
go.
was
Let's
it
go.
called?
Yeah, emergency
Something.
They don't-
there was like a term
And it's,
for it.
like you said, they don't want to hear that.
And I
that-
guarantee you too. I know this is going to piss some people off. I think if Trump was in office right now, the military would already be on the ground. Like honestly, if I want to get a booster shot, I don't even know where to go. I'll have to make some inquiries to know where to go. I don't know.
Isn't it just at the Rite Aids and stuff? Like
Is that where it is?
everywhere,
Is that,
yeah.
can you just walk into
I think
Rite
you
Aid
go to
and get a
McDonald's
booster
and
shot?
just get one with your meal.
Here's what I know.
You
I
can literally
can't-
just go online and search where to get it. It'll show you everywhere.
Right, but that should be something where you want to have government PSAs on TV going, go to your local Walgreens or Rite Aid right now. You can sign up at.
Things.
Well, it would have been interesting. 'cause
I don't
if
see
Trump
those, although I don't
Here's the
watch that
thing: if
much,
Trump did it, I don't know what the reaction would be. But I would tell you that they have kind of done that. And when I see it on Facebook, it'll be like, again, if you're a writer, you go, look at this. They're up at the high school football game on Friday, boosting things. F that. So maybe if Trump had been doing it, they would have been okay with it. I don't know, but.
Well, yeah, they're not showing. You're not getting PSAs on your Seinfeld reruns.
Yeah.
on Netflix,
You're not getting.
I watch a
the
lot of live
updates on
sports,
there.
though.
All right, that's true.
There's a lot of live sports I watch.
There is a lot out there. And
I'm
it's
sure,
been-
and I know I'm a Google away, but I'm just
No,
saying
and it's-
it should be common knowledge that.
And
I don't know
think
what
it
the
has
rules
been
are.
for
Do
a
you
long
have
time.
to? Do you have to go wait in line? Do you have to make an
I don't
appointment?
anymore. I don't even think
You got
would-
a shot. How do you not know? How'd
booster.
you get it the first time?
I was in California. I waited in a fucking snake line.
Well, these days,
at-
no,
at a
man. Like when I went,
Coliseum.
No, it's totally different. I mean,
Yeah.
I scheduled an appointment and you just go online. I just did it at the Rite Aid right here.
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
At my
I'm just.
time, I was in and
my,
out.
my whole point is, it's not something. My point is, I think that if Trump was in office, he would have he would have called in the National Guard and have specific spots set up in town.
I actually wonder what
could
he
have
would
seen-
have- honestly,
I
I
think
actually-
because he was calling for the
That's
National Guard to
fucking
get involved.
speculation. You don't know.
He was calling for the National Guard early
that
to
was
get
in the
involved
very
as soon as they
beginning of
had
this
vaccines.
thing.
Yeah, and Biden's calling for it now, and I think it's late.
I
think it's
would
late
be
as
interested to
shit.
see what the butterfly effect would have been of Trump winning. Because
yeah, clearly that would be.
It'd be very interesting to see how
Well,
he would have.
with the whole fucking country would probably be on fire. It wouldn't even matter.
That's
Yeah,
true too.
True.
But
So Biden goes on. Let me say again and again and again. Keep repeating yourself, sir. Get vaccinated. It's the only responsible thing to do. Those who are not vaccinated are causing hospitals to be overrun.
there you go. See?
And then
That's the fallback.
People suffering from heart attacks and cancer can't get a bed. Really? You're really going to push that bullshit narrative again? He did give a nod to former President Donald Trump in Operation Warp Speed. And
Warp
this is
Speed,
where...
that's what it was.
Yeah.
Fast track. Yeah.
This is where I
Finally.
think this fucking guy could make headway with people.
Yep.
This is it. Instead of just blaming every Trump supporter for keeping the pandemic alive, which is, I promise you, a bullshit narrative and a lie, saying stuff like this. Thanks to the prior administration and our scientific community, America was one of the first countries to get the vaccine. Thanks to my administration and the hard work of Americans, we led a rollout and made America among the world leaders in getting shots in arms. Even that subtle sentence right there, just acknowledging that there was someone before you that produced, who's on their watch, these vaccines were produced and started to be rolled out, and then more grandiose rollout under former Vice
Just
President
happened
Joe
to be the
Biden's
timing
presidency.
that's when the election happened.
Yeah,
and
right.
it changed over.
Man, isn't that, if you know what's funny when you really look back, again, you talk about what could have
That would've
happened.
happened a year
But, like,
prior,
Right.
you
What,
know.
well, what if even the vaccine wasn't ready till April? Like, the fact in the end that it was technically, I mean, it was, by the way, it was ready in 2020, which, again, remember, as we all know, he's mocked on the debate. But it's just funny in my mind, too, to think of how history could have gone. Like, the idea that it was right in that transition, even. Like, what if it had been a few months later, how that would have gone, how different it might have been.
Lastly, he says, look, the unvaccinated are responsible for their own choices, but those choices have been fueled by dangerous misinformation on cable TV and social media. You know these companies and personalities are making money by peddling lies and allowing this information that can kill their own customers and their own supporters. It's wrong. It's immoral. I call on the purveyors of these lies and misinformation to stop it. Stop it now. Okay.
Again, then
Like
what are these lies?
What are the lies?
Yes.
What are the lies?
If you
What
wanna-
specifically are the lies
If you
that are
want to
being
go
told?
into the, let's see, that they're putting tracking devices, putting chips in you, you know. Okay,
Yeah.
go fuck yourself. Nobody really believes
Nobody
that.
says that
You know,
anyways. No one on
maybe.
Fox News has ever made that claim.
No,
Never.
That social media, it's whatever. People have their conspiracy.
And again, I've always,
No, but-
you know.
But then you get
Yeah.
magnetized or
Right.
whatever.
Yeah.
Shit was sticking to people.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Remember that one?
Yeah.
Put a piece of metal on after you're shot and it would stick to your arm.
But purveyors of misinformation and lies on your media outlets, he's obviously not talking about the mainstream or the legacy media companies. He's talking specifically about Fox News. So again, I ask you, Mr. President, Mr. Former Vice President, what exactly are the lies coming out of social media? And don't give me bullshit fucking conspiracies. I mean, from actual doctors, physicians, frontline doctors, COVID response officials, from virologists, from those people. When I'm watching them break this shit down way more than your office has ever done, way more. Tell me what the lies are. If you can tell me what those lies are and that makes sense, I'm with you.
Yeah,
But you can't.
Nothing he says is backed by any
No.
facts or
No,
examples.
it's just saying it.
Just words.
Just words.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
I don't remember exactly. I'm sure it was really important, though.
Clearly.
It was about to solve the whole issue.
Yeah.
And you guys fucked it up.
Yeah,
And
it's
he
too
had the
bad.
cure right in the
I had the cure in my
brain.
hand. Right.
Not to mention, by the way, the FDA just announced today that they've greenlit this Pfizer and Merck drug. From what I understand, Merck is the one you want.
Okay.
The
More
pill
than
you're
Pfizer.
talking about, right?
The pill.
Yeah.
So if you get, so this is the first to come out, and there's going to be many more coming. That if you get COVID, the key to the whole game is early.
Right.
If you get the sniffles, figure out what you've got, and then get them on whether it's monoclonal antibodies and ivermectin, going down that route, or if you're going to do one of these new pills. From what I understand, Merck is like 89 to 90% effective at stopping the virus in its tracks from this new Merck pill. So that will be
Well,
out. At that point, what do you need the fucking vaccine
They
for?
say 80, 90 now, of course. Look what happened with the vaccine. The vaccine was
Yeah,
supposed to be
Johnson & Johnson.
But you know the funny thing too about it, like, and again, I know that, and we live in this
That's
world.
not for Omicron, by the way.
What?
That efficacy.
Oh, really?
Great.
Johnson & Johnson?
No,
Oh no, the pill you're talking about?
Yeah, this stuff was all based on the
Oh, so it's
prior-
pointless, right?
No, but I think there's a couple others coming that are.
Oh, I'm sure there will be,
against
yeah.
all variants. They're saying this shit changes.
But it's so funny. Yeah, and yeah, that's the thing. What I was gonna get into.
Omicron
there.
doesn't scare me in the least, though. That honestly, I'm not worried about Omicron. I hope I catch Omicron.
It's-
Actively, if you know someone that has Omicron, let me know. I'll go over and let them sneeze in my mouth.
Remember there was COVID parties in the early days?
Yeah, I'd have an Omicron party.
Let's just do it. And get it over with.
It's very transmissible,
If-
but it's fucking weak as shit.
In the beginning,
so that's the one I want.
you thought you felt like you once you got it, you were immune to it.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it was a one and done.
Because
kind
that's
of a
usually
thing.
our feeling on most of these
right.
kind of things.
So I was like, okay, we'll do it and be immune. But then it turned out that wasn't the case. That you just
Right.
sort of get it over.
I
and
was
over.
listening to Peter McCullough, Dr. Peter McCullough, on this, and he said, "You get COVID once in your life, that's it."
I mean,
I know. There's been a lot of pushback. He said, "Trust me, you get COVID once, and then you are fucking good to go." What you
mean-
got before, there are all kinds of, and this isn't me saying this. This is me misquoting.
I get
Dr.
it.
Peter A. McCullough on this, who's a leading scientist. He's from he's a University of Michigan grad, med school, and he's on more boards than you can. He's cited in more medical journals on this shit than anyone on planet Earth. And he said, "You get it once." And pushback was like, "No, I know people that got it twice." And he said, "No, they didn't. They got a false. They got sick with something. They got a false test result. They thought they had it. Then they actually got COVID down the road. They're not getting it a second time."
My question on
And
that would be is that
I'm
can,
just telling you what he.
I
said.
understand he
Don't
can be as
quote
smart as
me
he
on-
wants, and I'm not as smart as him. I get that, but
Don't sell yourself.
I don't. Again, I would go to him. How can he make that definitive statement now? He can say from his research that he's seen, he doesn't believe. But for him to just say you get it once and you'll never get it again, that seems a little early.
I know
to say that.
he got pushed back and he held his ground.
Well, you have to.
Yeah, but I'm just
Can't
saying.
just say it. Can't. Well,
Yeah, but
okay.
you can't. You don't want to be going out there just pushing bullshit. These are not guys that were pushing bullshit.
But people
They're
do.
just not.
I'm just saying I can't. I could. I'm sure he might be right about so far. I'm just saying for someone to say that's it, you get it once and you're never getting it. That seems odd.
Well, we'll see.
People can get things.
We'll play this out. Dr. Peter McCullough versus
see.
versus Isis. We'll
Dr.
play it out.
Doctor-
We'll
it's going to be
Dr.
impossible to tell because from what we know, we already claim to have known people who have gotten it more than once. So we don't. It's hard to prove whether they have or
He
not.
explained it way better than I just did, by the way.
Although I will say, like in that clickbait thing, when you say like that's the thing these days, everything's so fast. I just saw one on my phone today. You scan your phone right, and it's like little news stories, and it's like now it's saying that because for the longest time, dude, the planes, even though at first it seemed like we would assume those would be massive, spreaders, they haven't been. They've been very safe
Yeah,
because
very clean air.
and I just saw something that turns it's new.
Yeah,
new
I saw that
studies,
clickbait story too.
New study says Omicron is actually double the chance of getting infected on a plane. How could
Probably.
they know already?
Yeah.
How could they know already?
Troy took issue with this the other day when it was like,
staggering. Yeah.
when it was like 3% of cases are Omicron, and
Yeah,
then
but
like
the first case in their country was like a week ago.
Yeah.
Now they
And
say
then the
it's-
first
I
one
think
in
it's
Michigan was
97%
like
or
5.
something.
Well, it's probably
or 77% right now of
But
all
at the
they
time,
say.
it was within a week, and then it was 70% of all cases. Like,
Yeah.
what the? Come
How
on.
do you know that?
No, exactly.
How
There's-
do you know that? It must be that thing they do where they go, well, if we test 1,000 people, that's a big enough sample pool to extrapolate out
Or
to the
it's-
country.
or it's
But,
just bullshit.
Or it's bullshit
Or it's
because
just
dude,
another scare tactic.
you were so spot on with that one because it was like, wait a minute, didn't the first case we found out wasn't that on Monday?
Yeah.
It's Thursday now. Fucking 80% of the country is dealing with it. Like,
Clearly, it's the dominant
Okay.
strain. It's 70% of all cases in the whole country.
Yeah.
Were it's like it just doesn't add up.
yeah.
I'm not saying it's not contagious. I'm not saying, but
I'm assuming that it probably is, right? I mean,
there's just no fucking way.
So is the flu.
There's just no fucking way.
Yeah.
It spread that rapidly across the entire country that every case was it was 70% of all cases.
I think it was
in
more.
a-
It was 73 or 77.
something like that in a week, less than a week.
Yeah, but if no one's pushing back on anybody,
I
it's
know,
just like,
that's
yeah,
just
okay,
it. Okay. Well, oh my God, 70. Omicron. Oh, it's so scary. It's
The Peter McCullough interview was a 3-hour-long interview Rogan did a week ago or
Yeah.
2 weeks ago. That's what I'm referencing. If you want to go back and listen to it and listen to someone who has all the data on hand, unlike what Joe Biden's going to show you or Dr. Fauci when he just goes to a podium and says, just take the vaccine. That's what they're going to give you.
Yeah,
take the vaccine or you're going to kill grandma and your children. That's what they're going to tell you. Or you can listen to some of these other people and make your own decision and go, huh, that's interesting. Never heard that before. And if you think Rogan's not pushing back on him, you're wrong.
Yeah.
You're wrong.
Yeah.
Give it a shot. What do you have to lose? Take 2 hours, 3
Yeah.
hours. Listen to it for yourself.
definitely.
I agree. I'm just saying. I think that it's like anything though. I would say the people that were saying about COVID and the vaccine. I would say it's probably very educated, and he probably is right. I would not saying I don't believe him.
Yeah.
I'm just saying to make a statement this early and say he knows that going forward, no one could ever
Well,
get this
I
again.
think he's got more basis in that statement than you would.
I agree,
In
but-
his understanding of COVID viruses through history, and this is apparently very, very similar to COVID SARS-1, which you don't get a second time. And it's mirroring that. And so he's got a virology breakdown of why that is, what they think is going on with people that think they got it twice. I'm no expert. Go listen to the fucking interview yourself.
Yeah, I get
but
it.
I'm saying, there's evolutionary reasons and beliefs as to why they're making these statements.
Yeah.
They're not just reckless going, how would you know? We don't know what's going to happen in 10 years because it hasn't happened yet. How could you say that?
Yeah, I
well,
know.
there's histories of these things.
Well, then
and
how can you get it if you're vaccinated?
Because it's not really a vaccination.
I know.
It's not. It's an mRNA vaccination.
I know.
That's why, though. That's why it's not preventing you from getting it. It's preventing you from getting, put in the hospital or dead from
Right.
it is really what it's doing.
You're the real-
But it's not a traditional vaccine in any way.
The real question when you say if Trump had been president, what would happen to me? That's more I think about it is like,
And by the way, Robert Malone, the guy that invented the mRNA process for vaccines, has said, this virus is going nowhere. It'll be around forever. Just get used to it. That's the guy that invented the technology for mRNA vaccines.
yeah. No, that's interesting. I think the other thing that would have been interesting to me is, like you said, if Trump had won, is more just like, do people really believe that this thing is some, like, again, deep state where it's trying to really legit fuck people? Like, they don't care if people are getting hurt from it or dying from it, right? Or is it just they were trying, there was, warp speed, we really were trying to help? And I wonder how that narrative would have gone if Trump had won.
This was actually brought up in that interview. I believe it was
Okay,
that
damn,
interview.
okay.
Yeah, and he said, and I disagree with him wholeheartedly.
Oh,
I think
wow.
This doctor is full of fucking shit.
But Mike,
in
this
one.
guy knows what he's talking
Hey,
about, and he
I'm not
pushed
saying
Rogan
he
pushed
can't
back,
be,
and
he can't be right on one and dead fucking wrong on another.
oh well,
I'm not saying that.
Wow, how the tables have turned.
He said he does not believe this is malicious. He believes this is ineptitude.
Okay.
That there's a lot of and I'm going, bullshit.
No, malicious.
These people are making a fortune. This is bullshit. But he was like, these guys are so calm and rational and unlike me, very hyperbolic.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
animated like we get.
Yeah.
Fuck that shit. Bullshit.
Living on the edge.
Yeah. These guys are way smarter, way better, way more educated. And he's saying, I don't believe that these guys are out to hurt people or they're looking at profit margins. I really believe that there's a great level of ineptitude going on, that these guys have fucked up and dropped the ball along
of the
the way.
people creating the vaccine or the people that are
the
selling
people
the
selling the narrative.
Okay,
that
okay.
You need to get vaccinated. That's all you can do.
Well,
to
let me
save
ask you this,
everybody.
just
Then
real,
why
not
would
that-
you shit all over the ivermectin and all the other stuff?
That's what
Yeah,
he's talking about.
right, right.
It's they're not doing that research. They're not looking at it. They're, they get into the whole thing. I don't want to try to.
Yeah,
defend it,
okay,
'cause
that's fine, yeah.
I'm just not going to do it justice.
I understand.
but it's worth listening to.
Yeah, okay.
For those out there, Jesse Waters is not backing down from criticism of Fauci.
Good.
And-
With his kill shot?
His kill shot ambush.
Yeah.
And brief story, but Fox News made it clear, just like Fauci thought that there's going to be no repercussions for this. Yeah, because it's not what he said. So anyway, he said he was encouraging, I guess what we missed there was he was encouraging people to kind of employ the Project Veritas style.
Well, remember that's what I said yesterday when I said, we started it. We started
Yeah,
that
yeah,
kill
yeah.
shot. I'm like, dude,
why I
even
mentioned it.
even
Yeah,
here
right.
there probably was leading into what he's even talking about. Like,
Using metaphors like set up and kill shot, Waters ripped Fauci, and outgoing NIH head Francis Collins and former Vice President Joe Biden's scientific brain trust as clowns for botching policy related to COVID-19 and funding dangerous experiments. Despite the increasing numbers of Americans being vaccinated, hospitalizations and deaths are up. Colleges are completely locking down. And he also said that you can bet blue cities and states will try to shut down schools as well. To top it off, Kamala Harris just admitted to the LA Times, the administration didn't see any of this coming. Gee, you mean Biden's specific brain trust and Fauci and Collins couldn't foresee any of this? Why am I not surprised? Well, they're the same clowns who thought funding dangerous experiments on that coronavirus at the Wuhan lab was a grand idea. And that's true. For them to come out now and act like they didn't know these variants were coming, Delta, Omicron, they knew months ago. We all knew months ago. I don't want to keep going down this well, but this was well known. November 5th, November 5th, weeks ago. You knew this was coming. You did nothing. You did nothing to prepare for it. You acted like the government typically does. Fox News made it clear on Tuesday they are standing behind Waters in a statement. He said it's more than clear Waters was not being literal and noted the controversy surrounding Fauci's apparent ties to gain-of-function research. Based on watching the full clip and reading the entire transcript, it's more than clear that Jesse Waters was using a metaphor for asking hard-hitting questions to Dr. Fauci about gain-of-function research, and his words have been twisted completely out of context.
Completely.
Which is a complete fact, which is why he's not going to be punished for anything.
No, not at all. And even in those, it's so disingenuous in those interviews that he's doing that you just take it at face value and you just use those trigger words and act like that's really the story and not
That's
go,
what he said.
and not actually do the whole quote or keep it in context. It's just
so malicious.
Yeah,
it's
it is.
so malicious. It's too bad.
sad, really.
Did you see?
Was that a Ted Lasso or where was that?
I don't know.
What was that?
That was just me.
Okay, it sounded like almost. Am I wrong? It almost sounded like a Ted Lasso to me. Like,
Well,
okay.
I've never. Troy, I don't think has ever done a Ed Lasso, but
It was. It's just. It came off as something to me that was.
I do the Ted Lasso, but that's a bedroom move.
Oh God, I get it. I guess. Sex.
do you recognize that school there, T?
Hey, that's the Hawk.
Yeah, that's his international papers today.
Is it really?
Yeah,
Oh, once a hawk, always a hawk.
that's our school. E.
Yeah, I remember driving by there back in the
Yeah,
day.
you've
the
driven
prison.
It didn't look as much like a prison as to me as a Pontiac Central. Did I remember? I don't know if you ever drove by Pontiac Central back in the
that
day.
actually
Depends
was a
when.
prison.
Was it really?
No.
Oh Jesus!
Wasn't,
I was like,
wasn't
it
the
looked-
rumor was designed by a guy that designed prisons or
think so,
something?
something
I don't
like
know if
that.
that
Yeah,
was
the-
ever true.
your school or
architect.
Pontiac's?
Our school.
Okay, because I don't know if you know what I'm referencing, but Pontiac Central back like in that looked crazy, dude.
It
Okay.
what didn't really. It was just a big fucking square building.
Yeah.
So since it's in international papers, they say a public school district in Michigan.
Okay.
Oh, I know,
Farmington Public School
I
District.
know where that is.
Hawk
I've
Pride.
been there.
Hawk Pride.
What's a hawk? Always a hawk.
I drove by there once.
Has encouraged its staff to participate. This is in our back fucking yard, dude.
Okay. Oh my.
Participate in a 21-day equity challenge.
Wait, I thought. Oh no, I thought that school
Wait,
was
why
done.
why are they showing that when it's not really a school? That's
Because it's an
community
international
center.
paper. They
And
just
don't
pulled
know.
a picture from
Fucking idiots.
Farmington.
Oh, so
Farmington
it's not
Public
even. I
Schools.
started to think like, wait a minute.
Farmington
Wasn't your
Public
school shut
Schools.
down?
Yeah. But I was like, I know that school.
So this is an example. See, it's funny. Like you know this because
Yeah.
you went there.
Yeah.
Nobody else
Anybody else
knows.
reads this and they look at that picture and they
Look
go,
at this school. You know what they're teaching in there? Yeah, nothing.
Not
It's
a
a
thing.
community center now. There's a swimming pool and an art department.
It's got a lazy river now.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Like in the school or like just kind of like?
they gutted
they
the
gutted
whole
the
thing
inside
and made
and-
it like a big community center. now.
Nice.
Put a
Yeah,
big
it's supposed to be
pool and
pretty
stuff.
cool.
Yeah.
Is that-
we get our alumni discount.
Ooh,
Yeah.
is Mike going to be going in there?
Are we
and-
technically alumni? Did we ever finish graduation?
Yeah, I mean, just kind of show that you went there. I don't think you have to technically have graduated.
Yeah.
But
I think we made it through, but it was close.
I'm in a yearbook. I mean,
I
what
think
more
I
do you
am
want me to
too.
do? I'm not going to go in there and show you my fucking diploma.
Yeah.
This
I
is me
threw
right
that
here.
out.
This is me.
I threw that out years ago.
The
Right
diploma?
in the garbage. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, the diploma. Yeah.
Right in the garbage. Yep. I was moving at one point. It was like, oh, you forgot your diploma. I went
Yeah.
right in the garbage.
Mine was from Farmington Public Schools.
So, yeah, a theme such as identity, intersectionality, race, class privilege, implicit bias, and microaggressions. Participants were told that telling a student in America, America is the land of opportunity, is now a microaggression that minimizes their concerns about having a successful future.
Really?
Yeah. You don't say that to anyone anymore. Are you kidding me? What year is this, T? Yeah, welcome to America. It's the land of opportunity.
Wow.
Yeah, no, you can't say that anymore. They were also warned that asking people to say words in their native language is a microaggression, singling them out to be exotic. Those on course were asked to tick boxes about their identity and white privilege, encouraged to attend Black Lives Matter marches, support black businesses, and assess racism in their own workplace.
I'm assessing racism right now with these meetings.
Yeah, right?
By making you look at color
Yeah.
and choosing color over just whatever you want to do.
Making that a preference.
The voluntary course began on November 1st with 21 days of different topics based on theory that it takes 21 days to form a habit. Yeah, or propagandize, vulnerable young minds.
Yeah, or indoctrination.
Yeah, I mean, give me a break. The staff were asked to consider social identity group examples such as gender expression, feminine, androgynous, masculine, gender queer, fluid, non-gender conforming. On day 6, participants would read 10 things everyone should know about race, stressing that race is a modern idea with no genetic basis. Color blindness will not end racism. Pretending race doesn't exist is not the same as creating equality. Okay, I don't know.
So I guess we went from you're just supposed to treat people like people to now you 100%. So should I walk into places and go like, you're black? What do you, or something like, you know what I mean?
Don't be
Like,
colorblind.
yeah,
Right?
so it's like the weird ground between you're supposed to.
Damn it.
What?
I was trying to find my Go Black.
I was gonna go black. Like,
Yeah, that's
where do
coming
I
full circle.
stand
You can
now?
do that again.
Right? I guess.
Yeah.
Right.
Microaggressions are the everyday verbal, nonverbal, and environmental slights, snubs, or insults, whether intentional or unintentional. Yeah, to me, that's a big deal. Intentional versus unintentional.
should
but
be. Should
whatever. If we can throw someone's life away for an unintentional outcome, sure, why not? Sure. That's the bully mantra of the day, right? That's what bullies do. That communicates hostile, derogatory, or negative messages to target persons based solely upon their marginalized group membership. Let's see. Alien in one's own land is the theme in one. When Asian Americans, Latino Americans, and others who look different or are named differently from the dominant culture are assumed to be foreign born, microaggression examples for them would be, where are you from or where were you born?
How awful.
Jesus Christ. I hope they can recover from that.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I don't know if I could recover from that if I went
go,
to China.
Cleveland?
And if I moved to China and someone came up and went, ooh, geez, where are you from?
You.
Lord.
I've always remembered.
Oh, Lord.
That I'm not from here.
I always remember my brother talking to me about.
Why would that be a problem? I'd go, dude, yo, bro, I'm from Detroit.
Listen, if you go back to your fucking country,
Piece
it's a
of
different,
shit.
different story.
Yeah,
if you're
yeah.
like, hey, where are you from?
Right. I always remember my brother talking about like being
Seems
in
like an instant pickup line. Hey, how you doing? Where are you from?
being in Japan or whatever. He's doing some touring, right, and whatever, the vacationing and stuff. And it's like they just don't have diversity over there. So if you're a tall Caucasian-looking dude, you step out. And he's like, dude, he tried to like really get out there. And he's like, man, he dealt with people just literally pointing and going,
Yeah.
oh, look at that dude, tall white guy.
Yeah.
And my point is not that that's bad, but my point is like, I don't think we really like these people. What you're going through here, I don't think we understand how much
Diversity
is in this country, and how in reality we do very well with it. Most of the
Dude,
world fucking
look at the Olympics when they haul each fucking country's team out.
right.
Do
they look different?
Do they look different to you, the Russian team, or do they all look like fucking Russians?
And it's like that. I'm not
Look at the goddamn
Swedes.
Watch them parade the Japanese squad out or the Chinese squad, and then watch America's bowl of soup, fucking whatever the hell we are,
Melting pot.
melting pot.
And I'm not
yeah, you're not allowed
trying
to say
to
that
be
anymore
like
either.
America,
No.
you know, or
No.
God damn it.
I'm not trying to be like America. I'm not saying we don't have
America.
problems and all that shit, but I really don't think people realize how in other countries there just isn't diversity in a lot of other countries.
Yeah.
And we do really well because mostly people that aren't. I was telling Mike, remember that one time I was telling a show about I was watching that show in the States being created, how they get created, and even in like, you know, states like California, how people like you think, well, you're kind of in the same area and you're part of the same state. You must all like each other.
Yeah.
And they don't.
No.
The northern people hate the southern people or hate the city people. And so my point is, like, this country, if you really actually looked at it as opposed to these ridiculous shaming ways,
Yeah.
you would see how crazy it is. We get along very,
Very
well
well.
overall.
You have to create the problem in order to solve it.
Right.
Right.
That's a great point. Another one for them for that category again. Alien in one's own land is the theme there. You speak English very well.
I mean, I would say this. I wouldn't say that to someone personally.
I
unless
did. I said it a week ago to someone.
really? Okay.
Yeah.
I
remember
wouldn't,
that girl.
but-
I played you the
Yeah.
the message she sent. So
But
I had,
right. And I mean, a very, very heavy accent.
Yeah.
Like,
well, what was the
it's-
circumstances?
She's not from this country.
I understand it, but
No,
like,
she's
what
from
why
China.
are you talking to this? I'm just curious.
so
like,
I
Don't worry
posted,
about it.
I posted a,
You'll find out.
she'll be here soon. Yeah.
Okay.
She's my new bride.
right. Oh,
I
hey.
posted a couple
Congratulations.
pictures.
Mazel
Shut
tov.
up. I posted a couple pictures of Cece
Yeah,
as
yeah.
a baby. And
Yeah.
I did it on Instagram, and I was like, maybe I'll just update people on the growth where I've just slacked off and I
Yeah.
don't care
You
anymore.
have
But
Instagram?
yeah.
Okay.
It does pretty well too.
News to me.
Yeah. I never promote it and I never go on there. So yeah.
But it does well.
But anyway, when I posted these pictures, people that aren't affiliated with the show, like obvious listeners of the
yes,
show,
Instagram is where you'll get that.
where
for sure.
you'll get that. And so all of a sudden, this Chinese girl popped on and is like, very cute puppy. And I'm like, thanks.
Yeah.
And then it was like, simple, dumb questions, from a Chinese national.
Yeah.
And then I start getting voice DMs.
Oh,
Yeah,
here we
slid
go.
right in there. She did.
She
Damn.
slid right into my DMs.
We love you long
and
time.
it's like, she's
About-
like,
about what?
she's like, hi, Mike. Your puppy, very cute. Time for bed. Bye.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's great. And then I look and I'm like, is this a joke or is this a real
Right,
person?
right,
Like, I
someone
don't know.
fucking with you.
So I clicked on it and she's someone that is learning so that she can become a teacher of English. And so I wrote back, hey, just want to let you know your English is great. And
Yeah.
so I wasn't trying to, that wasn't
Okay,
a move,
yeah,
but it was
yeah.
like, here's someone trying to learn the language and to become a teacher of it.
Well, that was
I think
mi-
that's
very
but see again.
microaggressive.
See,
Very
I would
microaggressive.
not-
Was that offensive as shit to say? To encourage her, someone that's trying to master a language I'm clearly a master.
Well, here's the
at.
thing. When you said you
And
did
go-
it a week ago,
Yeah, it
that's
was like a week-
no. But I think that's different to me. I actually think that's fine to me. I would say like if you were at the bar to me, to be honest with you, and you're like, oh, well,
There's somebody in this country.
yeah, like yeah, that's what I'm kind of saying. Like if you were out on a Friday night and you're talking to,
like
and
Ferris
wow,
Bueller.
you speak really good English.
Yeah.
I would think that, in my opinion, would be a little. I wouldn't say that to someone, but in this setting that you're talking, I get it. That makes sense.
They got the
Trying to
ballet
find
guy
him.
in
Oh,
we're
Ferris
gonna
Bueller.
play it?
What country
I'd love
do you
to hear
think
it.
this is, man?
Would you?
Yeah, I want to see if I can determine if it's good or if you're just trying to get laid.
It's very good.
I played him for Troy.
Yeah.
No, you know what I'm
Her
saying,
English
though,
is
right?
very good.
Because I mean, guys, well,
It was fun. Hi, Mike. It was like really.
you probably. I don't know if you can get those again on D. I don't know how that works. I'm not on that as
know.
much myself, but
I don't know where it is. I'd have to.
that's
look up
fine.
again.
That's
That's
whatever.
all
But no,
right. You
honestly,
don't
though,
have
in
her-
that context,
you can't
that
use her voice without her authorization.
in that context, I think that actually seems totally fine to me. I was more thinking like I'm serious. Like you're out just kind of at the mall or something, and you strike up conversation, and they're like, "Wow, you really speak good English." I would say that'd be a little offensive
Yeah,
to me.
if you see a Chinese girl somewhere.
in the wild.
Wow, you speak really great English. Well, yeah, I was fucking born here, asshole.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, right. That
What
was.
do you think this was gonna do?
yeah,
Okay,
so-
another thing you can't do. A person asking an Asian American or Latino American to teach them words in their native language.
Now that's bullshit.
That's bullshit.
That's bullshit.
I want to know how to say fuck off in Chinese.
Yeah,
Right?
absolutely.
And by the way,
I
what
know
if
to
it's
say
not even
bullshit
fuck off?
in sign language.
What if it's not even fuck off? What if it's just like?
that's bullshit.
That's bullshit.
Bullshit.
Oh, there you go.
The bull is shitting.
Oh, yeah, that makes
Hasidic
sense.
Jew.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you don't have to do this first.
No.
That makes sense. No, this one's bullshit, man. Here's
Cunt, I think, is this like an angry
Really?
slash?
the DX sign.
I think it was,
is that what DX was saying all those
Yeah,
years?
You're a cunt.
It was what's his name? Did a great bit on this. Jim
Jeffries.
Jim Jeffries. Yes, because he was talking about how all these shows now they have these interpreters, and so with his
and so
language,
he says cunt all the time.
he says cunt, and he said, it pisses me off that these translators are here because no one's looking at me. They all look at her to see what the sign language is for cunt or bullshit.
That's
and
funny.
so yeah, bullshit and cunt. I think those
Okay.
were.
No, see this one. I mean, dude, if you're at like I kind of keep going to like
Does
a
that
party.
work if it's
like,
a guy? Is it just if it's a chick?
Cunt. Yeah, I think that's pretty universal.
I like to put these almost in context if you're at a party or the bar to me. And if you were at a bar in this sense, talking to someone and go, hey, man, you're having a good conversation and you're like, hey, what's, anything. Like, I'd like to learn another language. What's this word? What's this word?
Yeah.
I mean, what's wrong with that?
It's a
you're being,
striking of a
by the way,
conversation.
you're showing interest and asking them about their culture.
Yeah.
Like, what's wrong with that?
Everything.
Now, if you just went up to the guy, I guess, like at the mall and were like, at the, yo, you.
Here's what they say is the message that that sends. Okay.
Oh, let's go.
Here's the trouble.
Okay.
The message being sent is, you're not a true American.
Okay.
Okay.
Not at all what I would be thinking if I did that. Not even close.
They're bilingual. Like it's like asking somebody how to. Hey, if
I'm
a
asking-
plumber, could you teach me how
Right.
to fix my faucet?
What I'm
Yeah.
doing is
They
I'm
know
asking
another language,
somebody
or-
who
Yeah.
knows something that I don't know. Could you inform me? Could you learn me a
Yes.
lesson?
Yeah.
You are
Right.
a
Could you
Could you strike
perpetual.
up a conversation and have a dialogue with
Yeah.
someone,
See, I think they're
make a
taking.
friendship,
Yeah.
Trying to
creating a
s-
problem to fucking solve it.
Well, I think they're taking just trying to smash puss out of the equation. You know. It
Yeah, but
doesn't-
even
if
without
I'm just
smashing
striking
puss,
up-
yeah.
Yeah, I think for a
This
lot
one
of
I don't have an
guys-
issue with almost at all. There'd be a lot. Like I said, I suppose if you're at the mall and you're just at like the like the Chinese restaurant in the food court, you're like, "Yo, how do you pronounce hot dog in Chinese or what?" I guess that'd be offensive.
Well,
but in
who
any
would do
almost
that guy's just known as an asshole.
right, no, but
I mean,
almost in this one, as
If you
opposed to
just
the other
look
one,
at it and assume they know how to speak Chinese.
yeah,
then,
yeah.
What if they actually do?
And you're
you
just
ask
hey,
them
I'm
how to-
curious.
how
How
to
do you
say something?
Yeah, how do you say iPhone in China?
Fuck
or-
these people.
Fuck these people.
Yeah.
So, for the next theme,
Is this still our Harrison thing?
yeah,
Fuck these people. I have an insider with the Farmington School District. I'm gonna get an interview.
reach
for
out
this.
and find
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, we're gonna get some clarification.
if they can talk
on
about
this.
it, that is these days. I mean,
Theme. The next theme is ascription of intelligence, assigning intelligence to a person of color or a woman based on his, her race, or gender. So if you say something like "you're a credit to your race,"
I mean, I would agree. I think that's.
How about?
But I don't- but why people do it,
You're
but
a
I-
credit to humanity.
yeah. Wow, how did you become so good in math? Who would say that? Wouldn't you just assume they went through and took courses?
Here,
to
you know what?
be
Here's
good
the
at math?
thing. I don't know what radio station I was listening to because my car radio fucking sucks. I basically don't have
No
a
one
radio.
cares. Go ahead.
Okay, so but my point is, I was listening. Well, no one listens to radio anymore. That was why I was saying
Yeah,
it. But I was listening to it, and I just whatever. I'm on something, and they were doing one of these type of things. And there was a girl that was on the show, and she said to this day, like in 2021, she will still kind of get people to her face, like guys, like you're funny for a girl. And I get it. We can all laugh at it.
That's
Jeez, I
that's
hope she can
legit.
survive.
No, but I'm saying.
I mean,
make
we
it
know.
through.
My
they're
point
not.
is, people are saying this. I think it's. I'm to your. I'm just saying when you say like there
Is she
probably
funny?
are. Yeah,
Is she funny?
I don't really listen to that show that often, so I don't fucking know. But my point is, when you're saying, I think there probably are, believe it or not, assholes that are still out there going like, "Wow," to a girl like, "Wow, you're really good at math." It's like, okay, and,
If
you know,
she's Asian.
well that's true. You know,
To an
that's
Asian
different.
person, you must be good in math.
yeah.
So that's an assumption. That's a prejudgment.
I would say the only way that's acceptable to me is if you're really just fucking around. You know,
It's like
you're
going up
sitting
to a
around-
white person going, "Wow, you must be great at not breaking the law." You know?
What are white people? What are
Must
white
have a
people
really
saying?
average
What-
dick.
Wow. Yeah.
Well, what are white people saying? You go like, "Wow, you're really good at savings."
You must
You know what I
really
mean?
clean up your yard well.
Yeah,
Just really take good care of your lawn.
I bet you have a nice yard.
I bet you've got a 401k. Yep.
What an asshole!
So, can you, to an Asian person, you must be good at math. Can you help me with this problem? To a woman of color, I would have never guessed that you were a scientist.
I don't believe these things.
I don't
are
believe
happening.
these are happening.
I
either.
meing,
no.
yeah, the way you're.
No.
Yeah, I can
If
see-
anyone
these
is
would be
doing it in this
offensive.
context, I would say this is offensive.
Yeah,
In this context,
you can't just put offensive
Yeah.
phrases and statements in there and be like, "Don't." Well, yeah, no shit.
that'd be
don't
a great.
say
That's a
that.
great point. Like, hey, don't try. It might be insulting
Right.
if you were to go to some. Wow, you're a moron. Like,
Yeah.
yes,
Going
that
up
would
to a
be-
black guy. Oh, you have a license. You know. Oh, you have insurance. Oh, okay.
Wow, you people are capable of being on time. Who knew?
Of
Like,
course.
who's doing this?
This is like you're right. It's
Where
like
is
saying-
this person? Can we find the person in society that's doing that's making us go through this drivel of shit?
No.
What committee is spending what these programs and these committees that are putting these horse shit fucking things together are probably spending hundreds of thousands of dollars in their community to do it. To come up with this nonsense in their
Garbage.
in their inclusivity fucking wing and department. This is so insulting. No one's going up to an Asian person going, "Oh, you're Asian. You must be good at math. Can you help me with this problem?"
It's like they're preaching inclusion by division. They
Right, right. That is what's going on.
It's crazy how the double standard of what they're saying and what they're doing
Yeah.
is.
Well, we mentioned it before last year when Mike and I were talking. I don't know if you were here or not at that point, but Mike and I were talking about like how they were having graduation ceremonies separate.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
Oh, but
But
this is
equal.
equal,
Yeah.
Separate, but
that is,
equal.
by the way,
That's
I
where
don't
we
know
wanna
if
get.
anyone else does it that well, but that is always in my head when I do these. If I ever read something on my own, if I'm on Facebook, separate but equal.
But equal. We want to. That's the point.
Let's come full circle, baby.
Yeah.
Let's,
No, and I don't know who are these people talking to. So say you were going to say that to someone about, you must be good in math. Can you help me with this problem? So if this
Not-
is
I
geared,
can't
not
imagine.
this-
Are you good at math?
Right.
no, if this is geared towards students, and what you're saying is this person may look Asian to you, but they're American. They speak English, and it's insulting for X. So if you're talking about a school system, most of us went to school together, right? As kids, you grew up. Maybe someone joined in middle school or high school, but a lot of those kids went from elementary school through high school together, right?
Yeah.
And so the Asian kid, if you see her in class every day for fucking 12 years, you just happen to know she gets an A in every math class.
Right.
This is
She's
just
probably
assuming-
pretty good at math.
what, did she just show up one day as a
is
transfer student? You're
hold
like,
on, that's my point.
Yeah, yeah.
Is this a transfer student that walks in and it's like, she definitely looks Asian. I bet she's great at math.
first day,
Like, who
she's
would
just
do
next
that?
To you, just like, hey, I know I don't,
Plus,
know the
if you're in
answer to this.
if you're in advanced math classes, she's in trigonometry as a fucking freshman.
That's how
you might want to assume she's good at math.
And my kids at their high school, those were the classifications. It was Indian math was the highest, Asian
Yeah.
math, and then
Did they
Americans?
quantify it like that?
I mean, not the school itself, but like the students.
The students
that
did,
was
yeah,
that, collectively. That's what it was, And it wasn't insulting.
Right.
It was Indian, and I was actually surprised that Indian math was ahead of Asian math. That's my own.
they're making
ignorance, I
making
suppose,
gains
but
in the Indian community in the
Oh,
math.
yeah.
Indian
doctors
math,
are
then
killing
Asian
it from
math,
India.
and then white math.
Yeah.
We're not smart.
All right, on to the next theme. Color blindness. See, they're trying to poke
Oh,
holes.
you can't, but you can.
They're trying. What this is meant to do is to poke holes in every valid argument you've had as to why, to try to prove that you're not a fucking monster. You're put in a position of going, dude, I'm not racist. I have black friends. Well, you know what? Klansmen don't have black friends. That shouldn't be. It's just thrown away like that's a bullshit. Even saying that is racist.
Yes.
And it's like, well, wait a minute, hold on. On its face, I have black friends should disqualify you, at least in part, from being the worst of the worst, right?
think.
Colorblindness.
I remember I used to think, how many black friends do you need before that's valid, right? Is it just like, if you have 10 black friends, God, that would seem like, so
Yeah.
if you have just one, maybe that's not enough to be like, I have a black friend. But I
Token.
think, you need a few, I guess, where you feel like that could be warranted.
statements that indicate that a white person does not want to or need to acknowledge race. So when I look at you, I don't even see color. Okay, so that's invalidate that one.
Okay.
So that would be
Can't have
something a
that.
white guy would say. Look, man, you're just my friend. I don't see color when I look at you. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Can't say that. That's bad. There is only one race.
Humankind.
Human
The
race.
human race.
Yeah.
Can't say that anymore.
What?
No. Racist. What the fuck, Troy? What year is this?
Oh my God, I am canceled.
America is a melting pot.
Would you like to say humankind?
Do you see what they're doing here?
Oh, yeah.
I know. Actually, I fucking don't.
No,
I
do you
really
see what
don't.
yeah, you do. You see what they're trying to do. When you go, America's a melting pot, man, that was the whole idea of this social
just-
experiment.
yes.
To bring people together with their cultures. Yeah, have a little flavor of your background and culture. That's great. Celebrate. Have your parade each summer with your people and celebrate. But we're all subscribing to the American dream. This philosophy that we can, from different places, get together, come together, work together, build together, grow together, survive together, help each other. It's a melting pot of humanity. It's the first experiment on planet Earth like that. And we've had great success. We've run the globe for 200 fucking years. Well, not 200, but you know what I mean? It's been a great success. So to say that America's a melting pot is now offensive, you've just cut people down at the knees who try to explain that to someone, like I just did. I don't believe in race. I don't know who's saying that. Denying the experiences of students by questioning the credibility, validity of their stories. So the message, when you say something like, there's only one race, the human race. America's a melting pot. The message being sent is people of color are generally not as intelligent as whites.
How the fuck does it say that?
I
How the fuck does it say that?
see. I was really hoping you'd take the ball and run with that one. Explain that
Come
one to me.
on. No No way. I mean, like I said, that's just fucking creating problems.
Right.
Maybe
Well,
that's
create
just
the
a
problem, then
straight-
you can solve the problem.
Yeah.
You're a credit to your race. Maybe that's people of color generally not as intelligent as whites. Does anyone believe that?
No, I don't think so.
I mean,
I'm
Other-
sure,
other
I'm
than,
sure
again,
people
some
do.
asshole backwards
yeah, somebody
people
probably does, but let's not
But there's
act
people
like
believe
that
the world's
that's-
flat.
Yeah, that don't act like that's rampant in
Yeah.
society. That's just
It's
the
rampant.
norm.
It's rampant, T.
Oh, fuck.
It's let's see here. Denying the significance of a person of color's racial, ethnic experience and history. That's the message being sent, that you're denying them. I don't believe in race, so you're denying them. Denying the individual as a racial, cultural being.
They can't even get out of their own fucking way with this stuff, man.
Yeah, this is,
Again, life at the
just
party, I'm
double
sure.
talking
These are just
bullshit.
people you want to be hanging around with on a Friday night, right? With a few Budweisers.
this next one seems lazy to me. Playing on stereotypes.
Oh, boy.
Criminality assumption of criminal status. So criminality or assumption of criminal status. A person of color is presumed to be dangerous, criminal, or deviant based on his or her face. So things microaggression examples. So we got to watch out for these. A white man or woman clutches his or her purse. White man clutches his purse. Okay. See what you did there. You tried to sneak another wokeness angle in there.
Yep.
Okay. All right. I'm going to let that slide. So the white man's carrying his purse along and he clutches it. Oh, Lord.
Did they
black.
just assign gender?
Right, exactly.
Holy
No.
sh-
That's,
Ooh, good
that's
point.
problematic, as they like to say.
So, or checks his or her purse or checks wallet as black person or Latino person approaches. So we all know when we're passing
It's only black and
Jose
brown
in the
people
street.
that take your shit.
Oh, Jesus, where's my wallet? Where's my wallet?
I knew it.
As he's getting close, like he's got magical powers. He's already stolen your wallet from
Right.
2 blocks away. Let's see here. A store owner following a customer of color around the store. It seems like a fucking 70s sitcom plot.
Right.
Is that still going on? Are people still doing that?
Maybe. But
yeah.
I mean, again, I don't think
Can't
it's
stop
every
350 million people.
Yeah,
There's
but
gonna
I don't
be-
think it's I don't think it's so rampant that everyone needs to be retrained
And on the lookout.
for this.
Yeah.
That's the real problem. Does it happen? Yes, of
Yeah.
course it does. Are there racist fucking morons, bigots in this world?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are there ignorant pieces of shit?
Yeah.
Yeah. But let's not act like that's
They should
everyone.
really check out some of these other countries, my lord.
Yeah.
They'd have a heart attack.
It's my favorite thing about the NFL. The guys that wear end racism on the back of their helmet or put it in the end zone. It's like, what? How? Seriously, end racism. Who is reading that sign on the field and going, never thought about it that way? You bring up a good point.
Yeah.
Let's end racism.
I'm just going to take this hood and get rid of it.
Well, I've always
Don't
said
need that anymore.
you can't do it through policy. It's a
No.
generational thing. It really is. You're raised a certain way, whatever it is. In every generation, we seem to
better.
be getting better and better and better. Like the
Until
old
we've got to this
racist
generation.
grandparents.
Right.
I know, and now all of a sudden, somehow we're just
Worse.
Yeah, incrementally worse.
And there's a whole whatever this is in the school system that's playing along with this, even though they know that a lot of this is bullshit, it's not helping. No. This is more bullying.
and
Watch what you say and how you say it to everybody. Like someone's always going to be offended by something. Yeah. So you can't possibly just be like, these are the examples of microaggressions. Don't say this. Well, America is a melting pot. Go fuck yourself.
You're accentuating the differences of people. Like,
Yeah.
by acting like that, it's lunacy.
So going on with criminality, assumption of criminal status. Someone crosses to the other side of the street to avoid a person of color. See, that's what I mean by lazy. Like we would hear that shit in the 80s. Like, okay, you can't come up with something better than that. We're still. While walking through the halls of the chemistry building, a professor
chemistry
approaches
building.
a postdoctoral student of color to ask if she is lost. Okay.
You lost, bitch. You know what's in these?
Whoa. Hello.
Yeah, again, you can just
Darky,
make up.
what are you doing here?
You can make up these horrible fucking examples and act like these are just everyday conversations.
The gym's that way, or the baking class is in building D.
Has that happened anywhere in
my
America
God.
in the last 50 years where a postdoc student of color in a lab coat is walking through the fucking lab and a white nerd walks up and goes, "Huh, can I help you? Are you lost?
Yeah.
clearly the gym's that way, like he said.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Yeah. You just
I mean, again, yes, of course, this shit probably happens, and it's like stereotypes are based in reality, but it's not.
making the assumption that the person is trying to break into one of the labs. Really?
Fuck off.
So the message that's being sent, you're a criminal, right?
Assuming criminality.
You are going to steal. You are poor. You do not belong. Okay. And you are dangerous. All right. Let's see. Is there... Oh, these are other things we can't say anymore. Statements, myth of meritocracy. Statements which assert that race or gender does not play a role in life successes. For example, issues like faculty demographics. I believe the most qualified person should get the job.
You can't say that anymore?
No.
Oh, well, dude, it's not even going to get into this story. That's not going to be in this story you're talking about, but the idea of quote unquote, qualifications and grades, those are all out the door, man.
Yeah.
That we should even like assign people, on merit. All that is, they wanted that gone, dude.
Just want, if it's somebody for a job, I want the person that can.
Whoa. Jesus
Christ,
fuck.
sorry, what year is this? What year are we in?
1950?
Woo.
Did I said person?
No, I mean, the right
We finished your line of question, your line of thought. We knew where you were going. We jumped the gun.
the right person for the right
For
job.
that job? I know.
Meritocracy?
Unbelievable.
Jesus.
I didn't say anything about
Talk about the
grades.
talk
I didn't
about
say
the
anything about
patriarchy.
resume. I just said
Oh, you want the most qualified person for the job to get it?
Qualified. That's the Q word, dude. No.
I know. What if
Jesus, Troy.
I quit? Fuck this. Merry Christmas.
You want the most qualified person to get the job? Troy. Boy, oh boy.
That's problematic again.
I
That's
guess
also
so.
problematic.
Doing this
guess
one.
so.
I like this one. Of course he'll get tenure even though he hasn't published shit. He's black.
That's a quote in there?
They didn't say shit. They said much. I embellished.
Okay.
Yeah, that's for when you go, oh, of course there's 3 women officials on the football field now this year for the first time in the 100-year history of the league. Gee, they didn't rush anyone through. They didn't microwave these bitches through to the league. They're doing a fine job.
They
But
put
don't
their
act
time
like
in.
a light switch went off and all of a sudden there's 12 of them all over the fucking league and they're all crashing and
Overly
smashing glass
qualified.
ceilings.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stop it.
Oh, I used that word again.
Yeah.
What?
I'm not
The Q word, man.
Oh, boy.
QAnon?
Yeah. No.
Men and women have equal opportunities for achievement.
Clearly.
I can't say that. Gender plays no part in who we hire. America is the land of opportunity.
Yeah. Back again.
Everyone can succeed in this society if they work hard enough. I believe that still.
I
Am
would
I a
think
monster?
that's I know. Well, because they're tearing down the fabric of this country.
Oh,
Of
yeah,
what
I
this
mean,
country
yeah.
was built on, what this country's founded on.
Yeah.
Because that it's rooted in systemic racism.
Yeah.
So everything that this country was based on is inherently wrong and racist. So anything, no matter how true, it becomes racist by default.
Yeah. It's incredible.
It's
Scary.
yeah. I'm gonna go throw up.
On day 21, participants are invited to take action. So once fully brainwashed, now they want you to implement it. This was the fear that people on the right had all along.
Right.
Like, why are they indoctrinating these kids? And why are they like acting like they all need to be in some sort of action group, protesting all over the fucking globe? Well, once they're fully brainwashed into believing this nonsense, they're invited to take action, described as supporting black-owned businesses. Boy, that sounds racist.
Sure does.
For me to go seek out a black-owned business and try to like waltz in there all white as shit and be like, hey, I support you. You couldn't make it without my white ass, so let me patronize
No,
this
my
place.
white guilt.
Have you noticed that that's a category on like Grubhub or DoorDash or any of those?
Is it
things?
really?
Yeah, you can look for Chinese, American, whatever, Indian,
Crack-ass
Mexican, all
cracker?
that stuff, and black owned is a category.
Yeah.
Not white owned, not Asian owned, not
Right,
Latino owned, only black owned business. Like that's the only thing.
It's so patronizing.
Think they won't be
and
keeping
so
track of how
insulting.
many times you're going there, by the way? That app? You think that app ain't going to be like, Troy
Right.
Courtney's never gone to a black-owned restaurant.
He's never clicked that link.
Don't you think that's just so fucking patronizing?
It is.
Like, here's a guy who worked his ass off, got a skill, opened a small business, and then word of mouth in the community should spread and be like, dude, you got to check out Bill's fucking sandwich shop. It's out of this world.
No, but
Wait,
can't
who
have
owns
anything-
it? Black guy or white guy?
Yeah.
Hell, he happens to
Nothing
be
can
a
be
black
based
guy.
on merit or quality or any of that anymore.
I mean, and then you think it's more healthy for me to seek out that business and sort of fake give him, like, what? Am I allowed to complain if it sucks dick too?
Nope.
As a white guy, now you've asked me to go in here and check out black guy's restaurant. If it sucks dick, can I say something, or do I have to just eat that shit because of my privilege?
Yeah, I wouldn't fuck with that if I were you.
Yeah, right. That's the whole point.
Go in there and just throw a fit, like
Right,
World
right.
Star videos, knocking over cash registers and shit.
They also say joining a Black Lives Matter or an affiliated protest. Well, the only one affiliated with Black Lives Matter I can think of would be Antifa. So
Yeah.
depends how dark you want to go, and I mean by clothing outfit. You want to go Black Lives
for
Matter
clarifying that.
or Antifa. For media content, let's see, and addressing racism in their own workplace. In other words, tattle on your coworkers. So you want that in the building too. If you just sniff around, I sense racism. You're just gonna walk around looking for an inappropriate word, an inappropriate joke. No, Troy Courtney, I heard him say that America's a land of opportunity. We need to get rid of him. Let's all pick it. Like, what are you talking about? You're trying to turn people against each other in the workplace? Farmington Hills, shame on you.
Shame
Honestly,
on you.
shame the fuck on you.
Shame.
We went to these schools.
Yeah.
Shame on you.
I walked those halls, and I'm for real. And it was
Well, in the picture of
it
the
was
listed
unbelievably inclusive.
They want for media content about law enforcement, commit to challenging narratives that center the lives of cops, normalize or justify their use of force, present cops as having an infallible moral compass, and dehumanize criminals. The course urges you to do that. You know,
It's
so pick holes in any narrative. Who cares that this guy fucking shot someone or was about to stab someone or rob someone? Put that aside. Did the cop mind his P's and Q's and handle this perfectly every time? You know, let's put him on a level playing field. Really, I don't want my cops and my criminals on level playing fields. I'm willing to give the benefit of the doubt, for the most part, to the cops.
fucking
Sorry.
racist.
Sorry.
Racist.
Yeah. Dedicated their lives to community service. Sorry, not going down that road with you. Now, him and criminals are on the same page. Just like I don't put fucking fifth graders on the same page as their teacher. At some point, there has to be a hierarchy, and you go, you know what? We've put these people in charge. Are they going to make mistakes? Of course they are. We've put them in charge, but we have to hold them to a higher standard, but also trust that what they're saying versus the fucking career criminal.
Boy, oh boy.
Yeah. All right, easy.
And I gotta get to leave on that.
Yeah, you get to
On
leave
this
on that.
note of you supporting the police and Troy using the Q
Blue Lives
word.
Matter. Oh no.
My lord, I'm gonna get canceled
Yeah.
already by just laughing or being here.
This is a good time for you to get out of town.
I know, it
It's
sounds
a
like
good
it.
time to get out of town, Easus.
And here you go.
You know what else matters?
What?
Trust. Trust matters, especially when it's your money. Mark and Jay at LPL Financial work hard to build a relationship of trust by providing thoughtful, objective guidance and placing your interest first. Invest with knowledgeable financial advisors who are on your side. Call today and tell them that you're a friend of the show for a no-cost, no-obligation consultation at 248-626-2000 and ask for Mark or Jay.
Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA SIPC.
Will my voiceover still be
I was just going to say, can we use your name and likeness?
Yeah.
my NIL?
Your NIL?
Yeah.
You already gave it up, man. You
We're
already
going
gave
to have
it
a lawyer
up.
here anymore, but we're going to have you sign some paperwork.
Right.
Clearing us able to use it. E, I hope you have the best time in the world, but I'm proud of you for everything you've put together over the last year and a half to make this happen.
Yeah.
Don't die out there.
That's certainly the goal.
Okay.
I appreciate it. And I mean, it's a weird thing because obviously this show is not, it's moving on. And I'm not too, I'm very easy replaceable. So I'm sure you'll find a guy tomorrow to sit here and make dumbass comments. So, but it's a weird feeling leaving this. I never thought in a way I would take a break from this show like this, but it is what it is. And I appreciate how awesome you've been about it. You've known, as you said, for a while. So it's not like I sprung it on you. I didn't just say one day. But to all the listeners, I'm not trying to be weird about it, man. But to all the listeners, I know I'll be back. I'll be around. They can see me on Facebook. But not everyone likes me on Facebook. Not everyone will listen to this show that I do on the road. It's just meant, all this has meant so much to me. And I really appreciate it. People, without them, I wouldn't be able to live the life I've gotten to live. And it means a lot to me.
Yeah.
I mentioned to you, it was 12 years ago yesterday that I messaged you first to get an internship, man. And you know what? I'll say this and then I'll end on that. But like every year since you gave me that internship, my year has been better than the year. Not it's just been a good year. It's surpassed the year before. It has improved every year since I've known you. So that's,
every year since I've known you, mine has gone down.
I know.
like, considerably, and that's not a joke. It's not your fault.
No, I know.
My life has gone into the absolute shitter since the year I met you.
I know. It really is. I mean, when I
That's not
started,
even
you
your
were
fault. I'm not even
making
blaming you, but that's
hundreds
just a
of
fact.
thousands.
You've gone like that, and I've gone like that.
The yin and the yang.
You're right. That's
Your success, if it's going to happen, it had to come at someone's fall.
Yeah.
and that was mine.
You had enough, okay? It was time for this dude who was living at home still living at home, but to get a little. I need to feed off your battery a little bit, and I don't apologize.
You
for
drained
that.
mine. You didn't feed off it. You drained it.
Suck that fucker dry.
Anyway, well, thank you very much.
I'm counting on
for
Troy to
everything,
help me
so.
build it back up.
Yeah. So,
no, you'll be around, Ian. We'll catch up with you when you're on the road.
Yeah.
When you're back in a year.
We want to
Yeah.
hear some stories, man.
Yeah.
I'm sure they will happen.
Yeah. I have a feeling our story's not done being written. So
No, absolutely. And that's
just,
what, people should know. I'm not like, it's just how circumstances happened with
Yeah.
COVID and you leave. It wasn't like I was like, I'm done. This is bullshit. No, this was the best thing I've ever done in my entire life.
Yeah.
It's just something that came up and an opportunity jumped on it. That's all.
yeah, I love it.
See you in 2023.
Holy shit. 2023. I'll probably be dead before then, but see you in 2023.
Right.
We'll talk to you before then.
For sure.
Have a great Christmas and New Year.
As to you two, gentlemen.
Thank you, sir. Feliz Navidad.
Yeah.
Oh, can I even fucking say that?
If you want to culturally
Well, he said
appropriate
Christmas,
the
I
shit out of
think.
it.
So
Yeah.
Christmas,
Feliz Navidad.
Christ
man.
Mass. Oh my
I don't know,
God.
but I said
I'm
it
celebrating
in
Kwanzaa this year.
doing Festivus for the rest of us.
Yeah, Festivus for the rest of us is a good one.
You know what we're gonna do on Christmas, because we're not going up to our traditional Frankenmuth thing, because I just kind of thought it takes a lot of driving up there, and my mom's getting spend time a little more instead in the car. So to do something different, my brother's like, we should get a Chinese dinner on Christmas like they did in the Christmas Story movie.
Oh my God, the duck with the head still.
Yeah, we're not gonna. I don't know if we're gonna be able to get a duck, but we're kind of doing it a la Christmas Story. So we ordered
Chinese
some-
restaurants are open. Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that the scene where they sing fa ra 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 ra?
I
Are
think
you
they
gonna
cut
play
that
it
out
all
of
the way out? They have.
I think they've cut it out of some places, but it's like, why? It was the movie. Well, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right. Have a safe trippy. We'll be in touch. And T, I think you and I will do a show tomorrow at some point. Too.
No, we won't.
You out tomorrow?
Yep.
What do you got going?
Everything.
The holidays.
Yeah. Christmas.
Okay. All right. No, I'm glad you said
We'll
something.
see. I mean, maybe we'll see how it goes.
Okay.
But
Perfect.
I didn't
Perfect,
think we were
perfect.
planning on that, so I have other things going.
Okay.
But we'll see.
All right. Troy doesn't want to do a show for you people.
Well, hey, you got your 3 this week. You got
We
your
got
freeze
3.
worth.
You got your freeze worth. And we just did an hour 51.
Yeah,
for fuck's
exactly.
sake.
See?
How greedy can you people be?
I know.
Right.
My
Jesus
goodness.
Christ. Anyway, thank you guys for being here. I know it's the start of something new going forward, but I'm excited for it, and I appreciate all of you guys, everybody that's helped us out. So maybe we'll see you tomorrow, maybe we won't, but we'll be back next week either way.
Cliffhanger.
Yeah.